Yeah. Where's my free shit all the time? Oh, I stay alive. Maddie, we're still alive. Oh, I'm still alive. Yeah, and we're live here to light the fuse on the final MSG teardown right here, AEW Dynamite review. I'm Shat Maffer here along with Matt Schaffer, and we're going to have a good time. Some run-ins, some thank yous, some goodbyes, and not the best wrestling show this week whatsoever. But y'all, it's time to light the fuse. HMG, therealmnetwork.com, y'all.
I like that. I'm going out right on top as soon as we get to the
You're 2CW right there, going out on top.
Too sweet, man. I'm out.
You got it. Just like Cody, you want to take your boots off at the end of this and we'll pan in on your shoes real quick?
And Big Sal will just come up behind and put me in a chokehold and be like, you're not going anywhere. And that's it.
Dude, it's been an interesting day, but when you launch a new product, a new brand, you got to expect these things. But on top of my normal stress level, which you are my number one buffer in decreasing that, those floodgates and those shields are down. And I've been taking darts upon darts upon darts the last 48 hours. So be it. I'm a big fucking dartboard and I can handle it, but dealing with the customer service, the social media, the tech side, the hosting side, the talent handling side, the development side. That's my brain is now split from about 12 chapters. I'm up to about 24, bro. And it's an interesting psychological brain experiment, to be honest with you. That's how I have to quantify it now of just like, this is it. You wanted this, and now you got it. But I never would have got here to this point of having more opportunity if it wasn't for great producers, great social media guys, diehard community members, builders, interactors, and providing a place for wrestling fans who want to hear that real talk here at HMG and Russo brand. Matt's been such a massive part of that since WrestleZone days and crossover and launch and leveling up his own life, getting refocused, going back to school, and then becoming a master control operator who's been promoted, I believe, 3 times. There's not anything he knows that he can't accomplish, and I wish him all the best going forward, and not sarcastically in his future endeavors of whatever he wants to do. I know it'll be a success because he's got the mentality to make anything happen, man. I thank you for all your hard work here, bro.
Well, I appreciate it, guys, and I appreciate all the fan interaction over the last number of years, as well as the fans that I'm sure that don't like me. So there you go. You got your wish. I'm leaving the show. You don't have to hear my voice ever again. It'll be great. You can come back and listen to the show. It'll be awesome. Ratings will go through the roof. I just felt like it was time. I've had the opportunity to of course work with you. Big Ray and Rick were instrumental in my getting here with Hami Media Group. Michael Jargo is my master control sensei, someone who I went, I like what he's doing. Let me check out what he's doing. And eventually I went back to school and here I am. So just felt like it was time. You guys we're getting to the point where Hami Media Group's in the Realm Network. There's going to be a lot more opportunities, not just for people who work for Hami Media Group and Russo brand, but just if you're a listener, Russo's giving away opportunities. Who wants to get your own show, just like we kind of did it, and you can pitch your own show ideas and whatnot. So I just felt like that ultimately, and you guys you and Stevie have said this in the Friday locker room before. If you're not talent, you need to become talent. So I need to go become talent is where I'm at now. I've gotten to the point where I feel like I've got all the tools to be a full package. I know how to work in front of the camera and behind the camera, and I know how to deal with talent and corporate and customers and all that stuff. So it's just, I guess it's time to go, make my own way. I have an ego too, right? I want to be the talent. Exactly. So
we all only get so many trips around the sun, and it's what you want to do to live them. Let no man hold you back from that. And I'm not the guy to do that, but the door is always open. Anytime you want to come back and take pressure off of me, feel free, man. But I know you're going to kill it, man, because you are well equipped. Your swords are sharp, and whatever you want to do, you're going to fucking apply all of your skills, and it'll be great.
Yeah, I'm excited. Of course, I didn't want to make a big emotional deal, as our cohort, Mr. Big Ray, is more of the emotional chocolate bear kind of guy, and he's the one that usually spews out the emotions here on the air. But I am excited to, have an opportunity, of course, anytime in the future, to do any shows at HMG. I'm not gonna be like, I'm leaving forever. Goodbye. No, I don't know what's gonna happen.
That's like when Dargo quit, but he's still here. So all you guys can quit as long as you don't go anywhere. I'm quitting. I'm staying right here. I quit too. Fuck it.
Well, I will say the only show I'm not quitting though is Suck My Balls, South Park Review. You can catch that every week. It will continue to remain on Hum Media Group and Rat Sound Review and the R&R Pod Networks through episode 100. Once we get to episode 100, we're about 14 episodes away, then we will be going exclusive on our feed, since we've got the listeners to support the ad rev on the spot too. So Suck My Balls. Check us out. It'll be great.
It will be phenomenal as well. Just big heaters. We're at 18 live here at YouTube and twitch.tv/Hameen Media, Ben Hameen channel. Everyone, where's the Friday locker room? Well, first of all, cocksuckers, it's Thursday. And second of all, everything's going behind a paywall for subscription. I know there's so many of you are great Patreon subscribers and are getting the shows for free there and are helping keep the platform free. But hey, blame Biden. It's inflation, right? No, they wanted to push us off the free realms. They wanted to cut us back. They wanted to demonetize. Guess what? I got to keep the lights on. And when I pay out stipends, which might not be much, but to 10 different guys, and that money goes fucking quick, B. So there's the diehards who have it and are very kind to share it, whether it's through Patreon. Some people have just send me PayPal at hackerhameen@gmail or hackerhameen@gmail because they want to end around and they know what the value of it is. And I am supremely grateful. And there's some that can just retweet, and I'm grateful for that. But to act like you're a diehard listener and not know for 3 months we've been saying we're going to realm behind a paywall and everything's going to be carte blanche of what you want. And sure, with Russo brand and Hameen Media, you're getting a huge variety of shows, but guess what? Compliance and fucking don't say these words or your channel's going to get pulled. We had to find a solution to go beyond that. Those solutions aren't free. So when people in the morning want to waste my time with 58 tweets, believe me, I'm humbled of like, where's the show? Because that means you're looking forward to it. But at the same time, if you're that great of a listener, you should know where the show is. So hopefully tonight I'll have the first upload of the Friday locker room at Realm. And if things go fucking sideways, it'll be a Patreon. But this is the model we're going for, to have to invent our own thing. And like I said, I'm grateful that you guys want it and it's become part of your habitual programming. But that interactivity, that live shit is going to have to get translated into something else. And I want to use Patreon for more fan interaction, more teaching lessons, things that I didn't get a chance to, that we had to use it as an island for our content in the meantime. And now that can go there and I can focus on my pet projects of what I think is important, whether it's 3D printing, outdoor life, marketing, watch alongs. I was able to do our new Immortal watch along with Blaze Haram and myself versus Rick Recon. That like those are the things I intended it to be for. Unfortunately, the fucking technocracy Nazi Stasi fucking pushed us off to have to use it for that. And I can't trust Patreon that they're not going to turn around and do some wild out shit either. So thank you for sticking with us through all that. And yeah, do I want your subscription? I do at therealmnetwork.com. And if you got to wait a week till we start loading up everything that we got going on, then so be it. But please, no more ridiculous tweets of where is my free shit.
That's never good. That's never going to end.
I know.
I will say I'm going to say that 3/4 I find of the Hameen Media Group audience to be, exceptionally intelligent, stop provoking questions, interact with us. They're great. And then there's that 25% of the audience that's also, I feel like, the crossover to the Russo brand too. I'm just like, you guys really need to look for extracurricular activities in your life.
And if you think you know me and you're trying to fuck with me and question me, like, you're just asking for the dragon to breathe fire on you. Like, I've been pretty calm and collected the last year or two. But believe me, if I get to the point where I got to snap to make a fuck example of somebody in public, Matt's seen me do it plenty of times before. I don't want to, but I only fucking have so much calm that until I gotta let it out, bro.
I was just gonna say, for those fans, to play that too, you guys, find some extracurricular activities. You don't have to be obsessed with anything, really. I mean, if you are, make sure you're getting paid for it or something. It's your passion, you know what I mean? But don't over obsess and be engulfed into things that you don't have any control of. Just kick back, enjoy it. I mean, there's nothing to get that riled up over.
Yeah, I need to know what Stevie and Ben think about the shitty wrestling headlines. Okay. I mean, I appreciate that. That's what our foundation's built on, but
Well, that being said, we're back for another edition of Light the Fuse. You can check out patreon.com/Hami Media Group in the interim as we continue to load shows up there while we're transitioning on the Realm Network. But if you go to the realmnetwork.com, you'll see that there is a section coming soon that will have this show and among other shows on the Realm Network, making this technically, I'm sorry to say, this is now the official AEW show of the Realm Network. Okay, this is my last day, so I'm going to say whatever the fuck I feel like saying. He's past the bin. All right, we are the best AEW show. We are here every week. None of our people here steal money from anybody, and we don't get drunk and don't show up to shows. We're here.
Yeah.
Light the fuse. Yeah. I'm back.
He's lighting him up to say
last day.
I saw him this week, and I care about that guy. He's in a bad way, man. I hope he can find some way to kick out, because after losing 3 wrestling names this week, and wrestlers were dark, I might pick him in the pool. Scary stuff, man. I hope he does better. First run-in of the day, real quick. The vet is in the house from the Next Level Review from the Impact Attack. My OVW brother, freshly shaven, looking young, like a young vet right there, baby.
I'm doing the Benjamin Button thing. I'm aging backwards. What's up, fellas? How's it going?
Good, man. You said you wanted to come in, say what's up to MSG real quick, plug the shit, man. It's good to see you, buddy.
Oh, yeah. So, there was 3 reasons I wanted to come on. Number 1, I wanted to get a chance to work with my main man, Susio, a.k.a. Silvio. I don't see him here. Maybe he's not going to make it today.
He's on the road, and it's super. He called, and it's louder than the fan in your room. So it was super loud from the road, even though he does look super sexy when he called in earlier.
I see. Okay, number 2, this is a chance to do a clean sweep of all the review shows this week, so I wasn't going to miss it. I can be on everything, and that is that historic, Ben? Has that ever been done before?
Well, I think me.
Besides you, of course, that's a given. That's a given, right?
Yeah, you could be the next one. Maybe when I was on vacation, MSG might have filled that. We'll have to get those stats from the diehards. But yeah, congratulations on 3Ks.
All right, and number 3, and most importantly, I haven't gotten to work with MSG, and this is my not last ever chance. You never know what could come down the road, but I definitely wanted to hang out with you guys here. So this is my chance to be produced by the man himself as he steps away, and I'm here for it. So
awesome, man!
I was putting my medal on 2020 producer of the year.
Yeah, Hammy Awards, the whole night.
That's over there. I
can't wait to see who wins this year's Hammy and quits as producer.
That's what we do. You win an award and get the fuck out.
I'm an award-winning producer, didn't you know? Now I can level up to someplace that can actually pay me.
I appreciate you being here. Just like Ben Hameen, I wouldn't put it past a vet to take an opportunity to take some shine off the guy leaving. Ben blows the spot on Monday and tells everybody I'm leaving, so I don't even get to announce it. And of course, all the vets got to come in and get the rub. So I'm happy to do the job on the way out like I'm supposed to.
Not at all. I'm just merely a casual observer here. I'll let you guys drive, and I'll be in the back seat with some snacks. How about that?
Sounds good, man. But yeah, dude, some Scooby snacks I might have to chew on because I just can't keep my big fucking mouth shut. Because I wouldn't be me, if I wasn't talking honestly. And sometimes I definitely don't Twitter thumbs, but I just did one where Mark Henry just retweeted Busted Open Radio about the Max Caster pull and all that shit, man. Mark Henry said, what did he say here? Let me bring this up.
While you're bringing this up, for those who missed it, Max Caster in a recent rap flow on AEW Dark referenced Simone Biles to get heat, which I thought it was great.
Well, triple. He shit on the COVID testing. He drilled Simone Biles. He made a Duke rape reference thing with, and none of these things were like a direct shot saying it. They were all very intelligently written, and then ended with an insinuated blowjob joke for the cheerleader of the fucking varsity squad.
Yeah,
right?
but the Simone Biles one is the one that's the one that people freaked out about. That's the one that got the casual, politically correct people to over exemplify or over subjectify a specific item, which I talked about last week on the Olympics. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah. Yeah. And, Tony Khan makes his big statement apologetically to the SJW, and going forward, he'll be taking care of editing Dark and Elevation himself. He already edits AEW Dynamite, and I mean, like, oh, you're going to do that and be on the sidelines of the Jacksonville Jaguars and edit 3 shows and write them and my and I. And then Mark Henry retweets that class accountability. And I just had to stop in my tracks. And I said, disagree fully to Mark Henry. Huge respect to Mark Henry, too, by the way. A guy who's been there for some big moments in my career in AEW where I got major heat, beyond the line, crazy heat. And he was like, y'all ain't right, man. Y'all ain't right. And then we paid it off. But disagree fully. Heels must be controversial and cross the line to get heat. Otherwise, you're a lukewarm act and not getting the best reaction to make the baby off of your heat. His rap was current and should set a standard against cancel culture. Would Rip turn down the heat? Because when he showed up at AEW, he was all about Rip Rogers' mentality and style. And now here we have Boss. Great call, Boss. Great call. Max Caster did nothing wrong. Hip-hop is testosterone and fucking diss raps and jokes to show tribal dominance, that my mind is better than yours, that my darts that I spit are sharper than yours, to get you that, he said that. Same as we ratchet things up in wrestling to get heat. And now you're going to tune this guy down. And I heard he got kicked off Beyond an indie booking date. So now they're canceling his spots already based off of him doing the exact job he's hired to at a high level. You want to go back in time? Go look at John Cena's fucking Thugonomics early raps. It's identical to this. Blowjob jokes, misogyny, quick shit that's out of the news in the headlines to do a 1-2 punch gotcha. And John Cena's a white motherfucker. Would you go back now and drill him for cultural appropriation, where the African-American kid who's just living the hip-hop culture perfectly is going to get fucking smashed for this? People are out of their fucking mind and ruin their business. And now guys who I have supreme respect for, who are Rip Rogers guys, are towing the other line when 2 months ago they said they were going to implement the other thing. Bro, you're going to tell me I can't make 9/11 references and when I'm a fucking month out from the 20th anniversary and nobody's found $2.3 trillion, or why World Trade Center 7 fucking collapsed in its own footprint? I can't talk about that? Fuck out of here, B.
Life. This is basic thugonomics.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Basic thugonomics. Word life.
Max Caster should be forefront with that. He should be Mr. Headlines, bro, and doing even more. Let's see if he can get in, because they got to grant Vet's second wish. How we sounding, El Silvio? How are you, buddy?
Hello, boys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good. The beard looks phenomenal.
It does.
Thanks, man. I just groomed myself. Yours doesn't look too shabby either. Is that the vet in the house?
That's the vet in the house.
V-E-T.
What's up, Susio? Susio, my dream has come true. I'm finally on the show with Susio.
Oh, yeah, man. Sounds more like a nightmare, but I'm
No.
glad to make your dreams come true there, pal.
Dude, I just cut the huge promo on the Max Caster shit, bro. I think it's way bullshit, cancel culture, and castrating heels from doing what they're fucking meant to do, which is cross the line to get crazy heat so a baby face can pay that shit off.
What did Caster do without recapping too much?
He cut the rap, and he had a Simone Biles diss line in there, the Duke fucking lacrosse team sexual assault shit, And it was all written very smart, nothing like direct on the nose. It was all good hip hop punchlines. Then one about that PCR COVID test results are bullshit, and then a quick like insinuated blowjob line, I think on Julia Hart because they were going to face Varsity Squad. So Tony Khan didn't approve it or know it. Tony was out back at the time. He just didn't know what was going to go on. But now, because the cancel culture went ballistic because he had a Simone Biles line in there, the kid is off beyond, probably punished. And now Tony Khan's going to edit Rampage and Dark himself to make sure this never happens again. And cancel culture, some cunts in the audience get to fucking mess with how hot a heel can be when the kid did his job perfectly to a T, and now we have lukewarm heels that aren't shit, which means we'll never be able to get a baby face over because without real heel heat, there is no baby.
I'll have to check it out, man. So did Charlotte get heat as well for her Simone Biles reference?
But for the middle finger, and then Ric Flair quitting too, because he knows her booking is shit, and he supposedly threatened Vince saying, "If you don't fix Charlotte's booking, I quit," and they released him. So you look for more punishment on Charlotte as well. And even her Simone Biles reference was just passing. It wasn't even any like a sting, like, you know, like on the situation. I think that's the whole fucking story. Take what from real life, act like she's having a nervous breakdown, and play out Charlotte as Simone Biles at the same fucking thing. But everybody is such a pussy, and they got their head up their ass, and they won't make any real moves whatsoever to put heat on heels. And why is this any different? I said from John Cena, what he used to do, or any other fictional character. Stevie was talking about this. If you got Law and Order SVU, when the murderer, the psycho, does something on the show as a fictional character, do you hold that actor accountable in real life and fucking cancel him because of what his character did? It's the exact. Why do we have to operate in this gray area where what you did on TV as your character fucks your ability to eat up, bro?
Basically, just in case, it's 4 bars. So it's the claim kicking ass for miles, making you claim mental health with some like Simone Biles. The Seidel's going to pay the cost. I'm going to treat those bitches like Duke Lacrosse. The blondes say they're the best, but these dudes are faker than a PCR test. And what's the smell here in North Carolina? Oh, wait, that's Julie's. And then the other guy jumps and he goes, whoa, 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 you can't say that.
Dude, that is gold right there. There isn't one wrong thing with what's in there. Anybody in AEW, so here goes I'm not getting this shit over, Sil. Fucking whatever storyline I wanted to pitch this, it's dead in the water now. Fucking anybody in AEW who thinks that was wrong has zero idea how to get heat, and anybody who agrees with the big blowback from it is doing nothing more than the yes men paychecks suck off at this point, bro. That is disturbingly bad. How good that is to shit on it, man. Give that kid a fucking bonus.
What's silly about it is that we have to walk this weird line because over the last 10 years or so, wrestlers have become so accessible to people, and it's hard to tell the distinction between the performer and the human being, especially on social media and shit like that. So I can be completely in character. Let's say I decide I'm going to come back with a doctor gimmick. I can back as a character and say some vile, stupid shit that is fictional, but they won't be able to separate that from who I am, Chris as the man, versus this character. And it's an unfortunate thing that all artists are in right now. We get blowback on some themes on shows on television, or even some movies, which I think is ridiculous, like Don't Touch Cinema. I could understand if they went on their personal page and said some outlandish shit, as themselves, right. Sure, be held accountable. But, they're artists creating, and sometimes we create darker art. But, I don't know, I'm not down with it, man.
Yeah, dude. And after what MSG just said, the word for word on it, there wasn't one damn thing that wasn't hip hop in a punchline that anybody who's ever listened to hip hop knows. Dude, you think Dr. Dre's out there shooting people? How many bodies Dr. Dre got on his fucking, on his rap sheet? Zero. If I'm not into nothing, MC Ren, I don't feel right. So I grab the 9 and the clip and go and murder motherfuckers at night. Oh, really, Ren? You're out there killing people? I don't think so. But are we going to say this guy's a murderer? We better not put him over and cancel his ass. Dude, hip hop is as big a fantasy in that same genre of living a character that's supposed to blur those lines. And then somebody's supposed to step up and battle you and unseat you. That's the whole thing of what the heat is, man. And to see this shit and then more I, me, my, I never would have allowed this on the show. Now I'm going to edit it. Oh, okay.
I got a question for Matt, but first I want to ask you guys, why wasn't everybody pissed at fucking Randy Orton when he set Bray Wyatt on fire? Why wasn't there backlash on that?
Yeah, dude.
On fire in real life, right?
But words, because words hurt people more. And how dare you bring up anything? Yeah, no, I mean words. So it's
Matty,
about that.
What's with giant hands?
Oh, it's my official Hummy Media Group Producer of the Year award. So I sport it along with my medal as well. So I thought I'd sport it today.
Nice. Nice.
It's beautiful, Matt. You look
you.
glorious holding it.
Thank you.
Oh man, we're gonna.
I got short time with you boys today, so
Yeah.
If there's anything you guys want to dish about,
You guys go ahead, punch in on Sil. Get your shit in.
Go ahead if you'd like, Vet.
Shit. I wasn't prepared for this. I got nothing. I'm sorry.
We're at 1.1 million last week. The numbers are up, but with COVID and everything else coming, will those shows at Arthur Ashe Stadium with a New York Key to the City pass, is that going to be affected? I know 2CW's thinking about things now, and we're just in a weird spot. And if they're bowing down to this type of little pressure, what won't they do to toe the line from the CDC? I think that's going to be an important thing going forward for them. And from sold out stadiums, then last night in Jacksonville, upper decks were empty. Interesting. And then last night's show to kick it off with Hoovy and Jericho, that's kind of the talk of the internet right now. Sil, I don't know what I want to hear your opinions on it, but it's starting to get sad. You know what I mean? In the way that we're using our legends instead of using our young talent to toe the line, we're leaving our legends out there to get exposed, and that's not good booking, bro.
I enjoyed the match for the first part. I mean, there were a few hiccups in there, and I've been saying for months now, I wish Jericho would get back on a stricter regimen and just be healthier, just for his own well-being, and because I love the dude as a performer. I'd like to see him in a better place, but I thought for what it was in the match they delivered. As far as Arthur Ashe, so I heard Cody do a long conference call the other day, and there's no masks in Jacksonville, and what he said is they're going off of the CDC guidelines. So if New York State says masks, by the time this Arthur Ashe show happens, it will be masks. If they say, you would know better than I. You live in New York City. I think
De Blasio in New York City said it's city pass, vaccine passport. So he's going against federal guidelines as they're leading away with a petri dish and now restricting in the most Nazi way possible. You can't go to restaurants. You can't go to movie theaters. You can't go to shows. You can't do anything unless you
include Queens.
It's 5 boroughs, baby. New York City. My whole rap committee get big. So
based on what Cody said, if that's CDC, not Bill Blasio. So.
Right, but he runs the state. The governor of the state is saying for anybody.
The mayor of New York City is saying the governor just got kicked out for touching bitches' titties.
Oh.
Yeah, so we have mass hypocrisy everywhere. People who can't be trusted, who are sexual deviants, lied about $2.3 trillion on World Trade Center 7, but we still got to listen to them and fucking in a big lockdown of whether we can or can't have bread and circuses.
I like all of this just casually inserting that.
How many lies are you going to take it from? I mean, you're going to go back 20 years and not hold them accountable for that?
I thought we were
leave them on the
Yeah, me too.
How did we get here?
Yeah,
because it always goes here. It always goes here eventually.
They're liars, bro, and they get to fucking choose what you and I do. And now they're going to take food off our tables by canceling shows. what happens when the 2CW show is double canceled again after booking all these people, and because it trickled to upstate from the little petri dish that it started with in New York City, and AEW normalizes it. That's a real conversation. That's not just me going 9/11 truth.
Well, that being
the COVID is a real conversation. Go ahead, Matty.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, that being said, when in regards to AEW, I mean, that is a great question. You know, what is New York going to look like with all the new restrictions that they're implementing, and how is that going to come across on television if you see a sea of people wearing masks after, you know, there's still a segment of the population who has either not put the mask on or they've lived in a state where they didn't have restrictions. So how is that going to implement on the audience, right? If you're watching it and you see people in the audience wearing masks, you might think that those members of the audience are sheep or idiots, and maybe I'm not going to watch this program now or something. So it'll be interesting to see the different variant results that come out of it from that show.
I actually just tweeted the CDC asking for my own variant name, so I'm hoping to have COVID on me.
No, sorry, your name is not Greek though. They're only going by Greek.
Oh, well, it sounds close enough. I tag with Papadon. So
yeah, you know, we'll get, maybe we'll get a GGP variant. That, you know,
well, he's the Alpha and Omega.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Maddie, don't get hot for me jumping the gun here, but I gotta say, since it's time, how about that fucking main event last night? What a go-home segment. Yeah,
the main event was good, and we were definitely going to get there too. But I'll just say now, like, in fact, it caught me off guard because, like, I got up to light the fuse, and I turned around and I hear ding, belt match is over. I was like, what? I'm not even high yet. What's going on? Like, so like that, I had to go back and rewatch that match. Was so fast. So that definitely was something that caught me off guard for sure.
Because we talked about Andrade and the way he's been used and some other guys. You bring a new hot star in, that's a fucking way to do business, man. I was happy to see that somebody being that unselfish, getting the business done. They had that great emotional promo after. Very good stuff. I was impressed. It reminded me of Cena and Lesnar.
I gotta take a time out on that though, Sil. I mean, he hits him with a spin kick knockout to win. He's cutting the babyface promo 30 seconds later, taking his boots off, bro. No sell, only to get jumped again, to get effed over. So his finish now doesn't mean shit, bro. In UFC, you don't take a spinning heel kick to the side of the head and get fucking knocked out and then get up and get the Joe Rogan interview. The other guy gets that. You fucking get carted off to the back while you're shitting your pants not knowing what day it is. Speaking of somebody who shits their pants not knowing what day it is.
It's the Puerto Rican sexy Mr. Clean himself, Big Ray Hernandez.
Ding dong, ding dong.
Yeah, pal.
Yo, what's up? Good morning, guys.
I like the fuse.
Live from the Petri dish himself, ready to be locked down with his own New York passport. Yeah, wait, buddy. It should be a good time for you.
Yeah, pal.
I got mine right here. I'm hitting the road. I'm ready to go.
Fucking throw that thing out the window.
Yeah. Don't do that, Silvio. Don't throw it out the window.
Hey, so
you do you, and I will do me.
So I got mine too. What I'll do is I'll send you mine. You send me yours, and we see if they even check.
I guarantee they won't.
Let's just call Aura. Somebody call Aura right now.
Mr. Silvio, it says that you're 6'8". That doesn't look accurate, sir.
Not quite. I mean, I kind of agree with you on the very last part of the segment. However, I've seen both guys on TV do the promo, so I was okay with it. And the promo was good because he wasn't getting cheered too much during the match. But I watched the great promo in action that the entire arena hooked, including myself, hooked into this promo. That's a master class in promo.
Oh, yeah. What the promo? Sure, but not after you just got knocked the fuck out 30 seconds ago.
I was good with it. But I don't know how I would have booked it. The only thing that seemed a little weird is instead of just ending on the boots and what's got next, we had the extra crutch shot because we went from this real dramatic moment where the viewer's like, fuck, is this it for him? And then we see him get hit, so it's likely an angle. But I don't know. Maybe I would have written it the same way.
Why would you
I'd-
do a retirement if you're about to take him out? Because he's taking the boots off to retire, then you take him out. Taking him out means he's going to come back and get retribution.
Right.
So instead of doing the boots off, you just fucking snap kick on him, turn around. He doesn't need to cut the promo. And then you fucking whale him and take him out for 6 months until he comes back. Why does he need the shine so much and kill the heat of what just happened, bro? This is I like the fastness of the match. Then they absolutely undid all that, in my opinion, in those last 2 minutes.
You know who absolutely got undid? Hangman Page. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Boys, it looks like you guys have a hell of a team assembled today. Maddie, thank you for all your fucking help. You're the best producer in the world. Best producer of, media organization worldwide, global, COVID Delta variant. And, thanks for everything. You're the man, buddy.
I appreciate it, Silvio. Thank you, of course, to you for joining Light the Fuse and making this show what it is. Because, with no Silvio, it's just me and Ben Hameen talking, and we do that on other shows too. So we appreciate you. You're
Sexy.
Star. You're the star. So thank you for allowing me to be on your show.
All right, boys. You guys have a killer episode. I'll catch up with you next week.
All right, buddy. Safe travels on the road, man.
Hold on. No.
right,
Hold
man.
on. Silvio, before you go,
Whoa.
are you leaving because I'm here?
Yeah, that's exactly why he's leaving.
Damn it.
Yeah.
See you later, Silvio.
I like you
Sorry,
so.
Big Ray.
Whatever. I'm used to it.
All right, away she goes.
Look at that. Now I'm in 2 parts of the screen. There's me with my face there in the corner behind Big Ray.
That's the original Impact Attack logo with me and Matt Schaffer and featuring Billy Ray Valentine. He's behind me as usual. What?
All right.
Yo, Matt, what's up, man?
What's going on, Big Ray? Welcome to Light the Fuse. Welcome back. To Light the Fuse.
Have I ever been on Light the Fuse? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, you've been on Light the Fuse maybe once.
I don't think I have, but I wanted to come on. Me and this guy right here. Speaking of sexy bald people, I mean, look at the vet. Just look at him. Oh, I'm sorry, Vin. Sorry.
Comes on your fucking show. Can't put you over.
I got it. I still got more weight to lose. That does look good today. I defer to his sexiness. I wish I could shave my face.
It's incredible that I get to work with this guy, but I got to go to work in a little while, and I literally just wanted to come on just to. I don't know if you watched the which show do we do, the vet?
We do NXT.
Okay, yeah, that thing. So we do NXT, right? And I actually put Maddie over, but you're busy. So I just wanted to come over here, man, and just like legit thank you, man, for trusting and believing and being part of this, man. Like I don't think people understand how big oh my God, are you playing the sad music? Okay, that's cool. I don't think people understand. It's kind of like the Tin Man who really wanted the heart. And Matt, you are the heart of Hami Media.
Oh, will you fucking stop?
Okay, all right, we're done. Cut the music. Nah, dude, like people don't understand like how much work you've actually put in, what you do every single day, the promotions, the editing, just being on so many different shows over the past couple of times. They will never understand how much work you've put in, how much you've done for us. So thank you, bro.
Countless hours every week. Social
That is
media,
incredible.
Patreon management, uploads, email. And Ray is one of the ones who had found and brought Matt to us as well in the crossover of people who are interested. We got a couple more. Ray does a great job with that and grooming young talent, young boys to be ready.
Hey, watch it. Don't talk about grooming young boys. You're
grooming
going to
young
get kicked
boys.
off of YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what?
Actually, we'll probably get remonetized.
Then you shouldn't have said it.
Oh, yeah, I got the laugh built in. Sorry.
You got the laugh built in. But seriously, man, I literally just wanted to be on air with you, like if that makes any sense. I didn't watch AEW. I don't know what you guys are talking about, even though I saw the Tony Khan thing that you sent me, and that's stupid.
Yeah, man. I hate to like. I got such a massive respect for Mark Henry, but I'm just not usually in the spot now. Like, let me argue with my superiors to some degree, and then I'm going to have to see him on the 27th too. he's the fucking big headline contract signing. So we'll see, man, how things go. It's just it's the business. You get hired and you shut the fuck up and toe the line. And who's to say maybe I wouldn't, but I'm not the guy to stay under the radar and not speak the truth into that. So if they got a problem with it, then I guess I'll just be me for my entire career. I've already made more moments than I ever thought I'd fucking be a part of. So it's not like I gotta be on TV. I gotta be on Dark, guys. I gotta be.
Well, listen, I don't want to take the shine away from your show today, which I can't anyway. I suck. But I did want to come on, and me and Matt had our personal conversation, and how I was very high, by the way, when I spoke to Matt. I had eaten the gummy, and Matt, I know you were giggling at me. I was probably acting like a 4-year-old child, but I think everything
high and you're emotional, and it was great.
I got emotional, dude. I was like,
dude, everybody. Jargo quit. He's still here. You quit. You're still here, Ray. So it doesn't. Matt can say he's quit, and ain't nobody going nowhere.
Well, look, the truth is this: that I think I told Matt. I can't vaguely remember our conversation, but whatever I said from my heart. I said, look, man, whenever you get the itch, the doors are always open. Sure. I mean, you get an itch every once in a while. You might want to do a podcast, a pay-per-view review, even if you ever watch wrestling again, which I don't do it. Don't watch wrestling anymore, Matt. And look, man, you're fucking great, dude. You're great. People don't understand how great you are, and just a good person, man, like with a great heart, and who's gone through so much to grow from where he started to where he is now. And dude, there's so much more in life that you're gonna do. I just, that's why I said stay in touch with us so that we can see what you become. Because I want to be there to congratulate you when you get to that spot, and it's gonna be awesome. So I'm being very sincere, and Ben knows I'm a very emotional guy, so I don't want to, drag this on too long. But before we go, what's the deal with Tony Khan again? He's editing the show.
Yeah, he smashed on Max Caster for doing this awesome rap that nothing was wrong with because the SJWs went ballistic, and now they cut that, and he's going to edit even Dark and Rampage himself. So there's ridiculous shit going on, bro. Heels can't even get heat anymore, and it's things like that make guys like me want to be like, done with this biz, bro. That's cool. You guys have it. Hey, good luck with what you're doing. See how well it works out for you. So, it's a motherfucker, man. All day, every day.
And before I go, I want to say, Matt, I totally lucked out with you. I did. Like I don't know if it was a thing of talent, because I really didn't hear much of your work. I just knew that we had great conversations and that you were smart. So
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Shut up. I love you. Punk.
I appreciate it. Nice. All right, we're done with the lovey-dovey stuff here.
Yeah, you can hear several straight minutes of this if you go listen to the Next Level Wrestling review from yesterday. So if you ever need a quick pick me up, just go to the first portion of that.
Put it on my phone and listen back later. Yeah.
Ray, you
right. Clip it. Someone clip it for him.
There's people who do the whisper videos and shit. Is that ASMR too? Like that? Is that considered that? But dude, you should do ones that are positive reinforcement where you just say, kind of the Stuart Smalley, I love you. You're good enough. I can't believe how hard you worked this week. Some people who are lonely might just need 5 minutes.
That is a podcast, Ray. Just record yourself 5 minutes a day, inspirational quotes or something with your voice.
Yeah, and just put people over in a way that seems like you're right there with them. I think if you got that emotion, fucking A, put it out there.
Why don't we do an ASMR show?
We could. I guess. Why? Because I'm working 98 hours this week. That's why I know.
And because enough people aren't subscribing to patreon.com/Hotme Media Group. Because if you were, then I'd be getting paid and I wouldn't have to quit now, wouldn't I?
That's right. That's a shoot. That's a shoot. You guys need to subscribe. My sneakers are falling apart. I need new sneakers. I'm walking to work in milk cartons, taped.
Ding dong.
Oh, y'all. So we talked briefly about the opener, Jericho versus Hoovy. I mean, one of my favorite feuds in WCW, man. But, dude, Jericho, regardless of body shape, he's still in better shape than me. And a great worker. But dude, the getting up slow and like standing there waiting, like legit, then having to feed his head there, like there's just 5-6 seconds while he's waiting to take a head scissors. This is not protecting your veterans and legends, man. This is really exposing them. And then once it got going and they stopped with all the lucha shit and we're just doing good back and forth mat wrestling and stuff, it was as good as you'd want it to be between, a nostalgia act of 25 years ago. But man, in the beginning, it was just like, oh, they're making them look real bad by doing this. I don't know why Jericho has to toe the line. It's because they chose to make his group babyface. This is MJF's spot. MJF needs to be punching his bump card, not the guys who's expired back around the champagne fucking match. It's Jericho to be on the mic, not getting gigged with a pizza cutter and shit like that. That's MJF's spot. So we've got everything backwards here. And I just felt really bad for one of my favorite performers of all time, and being exposed as the old horse kind of.
Let me just do a quick recap here for those unaware. Chris Jericho versus Juventud Guerrera started off the night. The juice was loose, as it was the match 3 of Jericho's 5 labors to face MJF. And the gimmick in this one was that for Jericho to win, he had to hit a move off the top rope before the pin, if you will. Which I thought this match should have ended, by the way, when he caught him and he had him in the walls of Jericho. I was like, oh, that would have been a cool way to end because he didn't
Me
think
too.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he what I don't like, and this will take us back, for those who remember what the walls of Jericho was compared to what it turned into, which the Lion Tamer. I mean, I like the Lion Tamer where you're setting the guy on his neck and his trap and pushing down on him. When we just turned into a Boston Crab for WWE and called the walls of Jericho, it's not the same. And real fans who've watched his entire career know the difference,
I have a quick question.
No Mercy 2000 or WCW NWO Revenge, right? You put that knee in the back as their RGO.
I got a quick question about the Jericho thing, and I'll probably leave on this. Jericho, so he's facing all these different trials or whatever and tribulations before he gets to the ultimate. Do you think there's any shot that by the time they get to Chicago, maybe he faces that? Like, has he ever faced Danny O'Brien or CM Punk? I don't remember.
Yeah, yes. He faced CM Punk versus Chris Jericho. Took place after WrestleMania. That was one of his feuds before, one of Jericho's feuds.
They won't do it because the next one is Wardlow. Wardlow came down at the end of this and gave everybody the fuck off, F10 and all that. It looks strong. And next week it's Wardlow with MJF as referee for week 4. So week 5, I think, will be MJF, right? Or else would it be one more before he gets to fight MJF again? It's so convoluted and ridiculous that what's it really matter,
Well, I'm gonna cut out. I gotta shower real quick and head to work.
Yeah, man.
But Maddie, I love you, buddy. Please stay in contact, bro. Don't disappear. I still have your cell phone number. You have mine. It never changes. If you change yours, send me yours, and we will continue to talk. And thank you again for every single thing, Vet. Thank you for dealing with me on a weekly basis. I know
we appreciate that.
I know it's not easy. And Ben, I would appreciate more nudes. You don't send those to me anymore.
I'm trying. I'm getting down. I've kind of got fat guy, thin skin, belly fat coming in. So that'll be nice news.
Fans.com/Hameen.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Matt. I'm out of here, guys. I love you very much, Matt. I appreciate you more than you even understand. And I think the people out there, again, need to know how important Matt has been and will continue to be moving forward. So I'm going to go and I'm going to go shower and think about you guys.
All right. Well, have fun.
You are my tribal chief.
Have fun crying in the shower.
Oh, I'll be doing more than that, baby.
Appreciate Big Ray. Also, shout out to Billy Ray Valentine as well. I text Billy Ray all the time as well, so I appreciate it. So Chris Jericho picks up the victory in here as he does a flying Judas effect off the top rope. Vet, did you get your opportunity to watch AEW last night?
Sure, of course.
What did you think of this match?
Considering the relative age and condition of these guys, like it could have been a lot worse, and I was expecting it to be. So there was a couple like hiccups in there, but the top rope Judas looked good, at least. That was probably the best looking thing in the match. And when it looks that good, I'm glad it was the finish and not the Walls of Jericho, because even though I agree with the psychology of it, it didn't look good the way they did it. He almost fell, so it wouldn't have been that over if he did it like that. So that was good. Overall, I don't think I'm going to give this the juicy seal, but I'll allow them to submit another one at a future date. That's it for me.
Ben, I would have liked to have seen. I know that his finisher is the Judas Effect, and they don't want to do callbacks to WWE, even though there's so many people there. But I thought it would have made, I don't know, I would have liked to have seen him use the code breaker in this. I thought that would have made more sense coming off the top rope, just because
there's something interesting right there. So WWE is not allowed to call it they're not calling it the code breaker anymore because of Jericho. I heard this, and they're having only the girls do it now with that because so many did it. So there's some weird little hate there. How about Walls of Jericho off the top rope? Nobody's done that one yet.
Could be a good reason why too. I would say.
You're breaking up a little bit, Ben, there for a second.
Walls of Jericho off the top rope.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But mad respect to these guys. These were some of my favorite WCW matches. It was nice nostalgia, but it makes me go, man, if I was at that level, would I still be trying to do this shit and exposing when I was better? But then I say to myself, you were never better, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Is there any heat on Tony? And I know that Tony's job is to put over Jericho and Juven to Guerrero. He's been there for the history, but he kept bringing it up. The 1998 match at Sturgis. All I kept thinking was, well, maybe I should go watch that match when they were 20 plus years younger, and they probably would have looked a little bit
Where are you going to watch that?
Well, I mean, I could watch it for free because I know how to hacker Hameen works.
Right.
Typically,
but
WWE
the cock, you're gonna need to put the cock in your hands. And,
so now you're highlighting matches that you want people to go back and see on your competitor's fucking pay service. Mwah.
That was a very, very, very odd choice of push there. Post match, as you mentioned, Wardlow attacked Jericho from behind, picked Hoovy up, gave him an F10, threw a knee to Jericho's face. And then MJF got on the mic, said, "I'm so sorry, guys. Did we ruin that moment for you?" Crowd's yelling, "You suck." Got people behind him flipping him off. He announces Wardlow's opponent number 4 for Jericho, and he will be coming to the ring to make sure the match is called fair and square, MJF himself. Now, they kind of said it on commentary that he's coming down, but they never really actually said that he's going to be the special ref. It just kind of got alluded to, but I guess that's what we're going with, that he's going to be the special referee.
I think he put it over at the end of the match. MJF did.
Yeah, I thought he said it.
Yeah, he said it.
I don't know. It was a little confusing.
He had a blue suit on.
So MJF, he's going to be the special referee. Do you have any final thoughts?
You like this one? I knew you would. Remember this one?
Is that beefy in them?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the old ass shirt right here, dog.
Looks nice. Looks clean. Yeah. Final thoughts. I don't know. So this is bad because you're gonna have to beat Wardlow again. Yep. And I really don't like that idea. But you're not gonna not get through the 5 labors, right? That's it. Well, how good would that be though if they didn't? If he just beats him, cheat, get the heat, whatever. Sorry, don't get a match with me. I could see them doing that just because they do things that people don't expect, even if it doesn't make sense and it's not traditional. They've done that ever since the company's inception. So I can see them doing it again here.
That's the Nikki Cross I almost won promo right after he
Ooh.
I almost gave it my best and does it with the accent as well. That'd be a great rip.
That would be great.
Because I know Ben Hameen doesn't like the questions, and he already told you guys at the beginning of the show. For those just join us, the Friday Locker Room is behind a paywall now. As of this week, Hameen Media Group is going to be transitioning to the Realm Network. You ain't getting shit for free no more. Pay up. Fucking $4 a month. Stop being a bitch.
Yeah, I like that. Stop being a bitch for sure. But there will be free shows, segments, probably 4 to 5 minutes of highlight that will allow people to listen and decide if they want to this week buy it this month. So turn it on, turn it off as monthly if you want. And which we always give you more than extreme value here when you get the real talk and I get fired up or whatever guests we have on. But yeah, there will be stuff in the free. There will be stuff in the free Realm feed, Freedom stuff. So even if you're not subscribed to Hameen Media Group, you will hear snippets of shows through that player at therealmnetwork.com. But we hope you will subscribe for it. Same as Russo brand price.
Now, just for clarification, Ben, like if they go to it, is it available now or is it coming tomorrow or what is like?
I have to upload Friday Locker Room tonight, hopefully.
Okay, so right now they can't get it anyways. There's nothing to do right now. Okay, so
they were hot this morning that on Thursday the Ultra Kayfabe declassified,
right?
And that's for free. We weren't live. I just taped it off the air and just uploaded it to YouTube because they demonetized me. They pushed me off, and we can't say things. I have to say Divock. I can't say I can't say it backwards because it'll get fucking flagged for some shit. But over there behind a paywall, and if the video's unlisted, then I should be able to until they don't. And then if I do, I'll put it on Vimeo or Amazon Web Services. But that's for my fucking stress level, not your guys. But at the same time, when everyone's demanding some fucking shit for free, it's like the soup kitchen line. Like, I don't know what to tell you, Briz. They demonetized me. I got to eat too.
For now,
guys sit tight. Just sit tight. You'll get everything in due time. You know, if you have to wait a couple days and binge it, that's fine too. Just, relax.
I was also going to point out, if it's not on Realm, I'm sure it'll get uploaded to patreon.com/Hami Media Group, which if you had become a subscriber, I wouldn't be leaving. So fucking start subscribing there.
It's not too late to save MSG at HMG.
Save MSG. By the end of the show, if we get 500 Patreons signed up, I'll stay. I'll pay my salary. All right.
Good doing it.
It was good. So following that, we had Dasha backstage. She thought she was supposed to talk with the Death Triangle. There's no Pac, only Phoenix and Penta. So Alex Abrahantes thinks, of course, they got Pac's ride canceled from last week's shenanigans, being that, the new duo of Andrade and Chavo apparently got Phoenix and Penta to the arena via limos. So Chavo says they didn't thank them last week for the last week's limo. Chavo asked them to join up, yes or no. Phoenix says they don't work for Andrade or anyone. Penta says no, and Chavo ends it by saying, "Don't worry, we'll get him. We'll get him." So Chavo, I thought, cut a decent promo. I like the alignment between.
You like this of get in there and shine. He brings him in as the baby face and tells him to shine his shoes, and then they beat him up like.
Well, that was late.
Was that? I thought you were talking about here. Sorry, I must have missed this from Chavo early on.
This is the first promo where they go to talk to Death Triangle, but Death Triangle doesn't have.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I blocked that out of my mind too.
Vet, did you have any comments on it? What do you think of this?
Yeah, this is horseshit. Like, what is he talking about with the limo? Last week he said he sent a limo to pick them up and they never came. Now he's asking him to thank him for the limo. So did it take the limo a week to bring them to the place that they were going? Was it like a cross-country limo here? Like, what the fuck are they talking about? This shit doesn't even, it makes no sense whatsoever.
Cujo brings up a good point, and I was laughing my ass off when this happened. I like how the translator translated Mexican for the Spanish. Spanish for the Hispanics. And I laughed my ass off that too. I went, wait, why? Who is he translating this to? I get it was for the audience, so
How about their audience?
From a realistic standpoint, it didn't make sense.
We're talking limos, and in wrestling and in 1980s and 90s culture, limos mean status. Nowadays, a limo to their audience should mean what?
Elite, better than you, high society.
I don't think it. Maybe that if that's your take on it, good. But at the same time, to me, it means you got a Humvee, you're an asshole. You don't care about the environment. Gas is $3.20-something. You're stupid with your money. You need this just to stroke your ego. I want to tear you down because you think you're better than me. It's not like, ooh, they showed up in a limo. They're the fucking top guys anymore. To me, if they're going to toe all that fucking Green Party line and all that, then toe it. Don't try and write some 80s, 90s shit and put it on 2021 when you want to play 2021 on other things.
Well, they can't do that. They can't do that though because FTR shows up in trucks and stuff like that, diesels. So that would be.
And somebody should call them peckerheads, and they should go, I don't give a fuck what you think. I work for my money. In fact, I'm going to fucking make this bitch even eat more gas. How can I do that? And fuck with them. But nah, we want to, it's only when it fits our needs and storyline that we go hypocritical on which way we fucking swing. That things like that stick out to me bad, bro.
So following that, we go to a backstage segment now. This is with Tony Schiavone. He's with the Dark Order. He brings up they have no opportunity now for the tag team championships. As he's talking, Hangman Page shows up to grab his drink, tries to leave. They say it's been a whole week. They couldn't get a hold of him. Page says, he cost them the tag titles, and everyone says it's okay. Page says he has to take care of his baggage on his own, and Dark Order says they can help, but he passes. Page says for now they are done and heads out. Uno tells the group, if that's what Page wants, let's give him his space.
Dude, let's fucking find this guy a shirt that fits. How about that to start with? We got like the extra small cowboy Bubbles shirt on here, dude, from Trailer Park Boys. I'm just like, what are you wearing, man? I get it. You're in shape, but there's some things that are like, ugh. And then all of them wanting to be buddies with them and don't leave us. I gotta leave. Don't go. Like, so even after all this heat, should I stooge off my idea for myself that will never probably get
Probably not. Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Steal it.
Okay. All right.
Credit for it, and then you'll have to hear people on Twitter be like, "But you didn't come up with that. It was red velvet. It's a red velvet idea." What are you
good?
So following that, we got 2.0, Jeff Parker and Matt Lee, and Daniel Garcia versus Eddie Kingston, John Moxley, and Darby Allin with Sting. So I want to start off by preferencing this by saying I have no idea who these people are. I mean, I know who Daniel Garcia is because I know he wrestles in the Northeast, and I've also seen him on AEW.
So he's from ESW in Buffalo. Right. He's one of Pepper Parks' guys.
I knew that, but like here was my biggest gripe. They were making it such a big deal. This is 2.0. They're challenging the head dogs of the show. We're not going to give you any video package so you understand who 2.0 is, but they're challenging the big dogs of the show. And they got a lot of balls. They're great. This would be like me showing up at Immortal and being like, I challenge Ben Hameen. The crowd's going to be like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah,
like,
well, feel free. They're getting hot and they want me to breathe fire, so I got to breathe fire for a fucking minute. Where people want to get their shit, and I appreciate your diehard members. And like, got to pay for free thoughts, or this company gets whatever. Do you want to go sell advertising for me to make $30,000 fucking dollars and pay my staff and fucking keep my lights on? By all means, the door is open for anybody who wants to keep it free. But here's why it's going behind a paywall: because it's not free thought. Because I have to watch my words on YouTube while I'm demonetized or having my shows pulled and getting struck. So the places you want to fucking have me for free is actually hindering free speech because I can't speak how I want to. So I have to go behind a paywall, which costs money every month to fucking have WordPress, IT guy, fucking upload, host on wherever we're going, Libsyn, Podbean, Amazon Web Services. You want me to go all out of pocket like that? Then I have to go find sponsors in order to pay for it all, so you can have free fucking Scooby snacks on the place where you think that fucking it should operate on YouTube. I'd love to be on YouTube monetized, fucking able to say what I want, but there's words I can't even say while my shit's flagged. So people can sit on their high horse and go, oh, he said it was one thing and now it's the other. The heat's not here at HMG. I want to say what the fuck I want to say, and my hand has been forced to help develop Russo in this platform, whether it's Aubrey Huff, Val Venus, Lord Jamar, fucking all these voices that have been canceled and had to change the way that they speak just to be heard. And if you can't get that through your head, if that's the equation and not the other way around of trying to make it, he's greedy and he's taking it over there now. We were pushed off this. They won because of your complacency and not fucking striking back. Now, I'm not saying all of you because you're the diehards here, but I went up to fucking bat for it plenty of times. What they're going to do, if they're going to cancel Sky News, what the fuck hope does a terrorist wrestler have? So what do? I innovate. We went to Rockfin. That's a fucking work in the way they tried to work us in the meeting. So we build it from the ground up. If you want to come over and join us, we love to have you, but don't try and change the conversation from what the fuck really happened and what's going on. Because if you want to poke the bear, bro, I got big claws, homie. I got a big back to carry everybody on too, but you got to choose which way you want it. So that's just the way it is, dude.
Ben, hit him with the Bailey. You know the one.
Ding dong.
Oh, no, the Silvio? Oh, first of all.
Yep.
First of all, don't tell me what to do.
Y'all.
That's all you got to say, really. The rest of it is just
If any
superfluous.
of you refute that, I dare you to come out here and do something about it.
I'm easy to find. Watervliet, Indiana, or Watervliet near Albany on the 27th, 26th. I'm in Vive. 9/11, I'll be in Buffalo. 9/18, Canajoharie, New York. Bring $5.
Yeah, and then you can get your official face slapped by this hand.
Nice.
There on your hand. It's a bit Hameen. Right on my face. Anyway, so yeah, for those wondering, yes, there will be certain shows that are still going to be free, like Smack Attack and Next Level. I'm assuming will
There'll
still
be pieces of every show that are free, but they're going to be behind a paywall because they are the invite to come and subscribe to us.
Yeah, I mean that's basically.
And then there'll be things like maybe after a month of exclusivity, I'll release Next Level and Impact and things like that. But bro, you want me to not fucking be able to eat and help give a little something to the guys that are busting their ass to make an entire experience? I'm not going to go through this every week. So anybody who's got a problem with it can be referred to it on this podcast that'll be up for free, one of the last shows. And I'm not going to have this argument all the time.
Send all your DMs to Rick Vickery. He'll help.
Yeah, to Ray. Send him to Ray and he'll tell you how much he loves you. It'll be a great fucking time for everybody.
So Jeff Parker, Matt Lee, as I mentioned, 2.0, no hype, with Daniel Garcia taking on Eddie Kingston, John Moxley, Darby Allin. Apparently they called them out. Well, at least I thought they did, but then they just went to a regular video package of them calling them out, which really makes sense. But apparently 2.0 was previously known as Everrise in NXT. So I guess if I watched NXT, maybe I'd have a better background.
I like these guys a lot, bro. Like they have good charisma, good yes, and they're the stupid jackasses that are not afraid to commit to the bit. They can both wrestle, and they know they don't have the size or body, so they get over with character, man. These are great fucking brushes to have to paint with in your comedy realm in wrestling. I would love to direct and write for these guys. And holy shit, bro. Like the promo they cut was good in 20 seconds. I saw the 1 minute one they did, and then they had to do the strip down. I was very impressed. Vet, you and I have had to do this in Rips class. Here's a minute promo. Cool. Go back and do it in 30 seconds and get all the shit in and strip it down and still have it make sense. These guys got skills, man. I got respect for both of these dudes. The dude from Buffalo seems like a new young guy they want to get over, and he might not be good on the mic. An even better choice putting these two with him to get it over.
I mean, before you jump in, Vet, I just want to point out as the viewer walking away from this match, I don't care. They didn't do anything to make me care about these wrestlers. Didn't give me any video package. I personally, from a visual standpoint, putting them in the ring against Mox and Kingston, I didn't feel like was a good visual debut for them. They looked like children taking on wrestlers.
Well, let me put that another way for you, Matt. Is this Dark? Am I watching Dark or perhaps Dark Elevation?
Watching Dynamite.
Oh, okay. Well, I couldn't tell from this because this seems like the kind of content that is better suited to
Exactly.
be edited personally by Tony Khan, let's say.
Exactly.
Well, this is too. Well, I mean,
I agree with that. See, if this had been a dark match, and I maybe watched it on Dark, I'd maybe have a different idea. But because it's on Dynamite with no background and you're introducing characters with no information and you're putting up against your big stars, I mean, what am I supposed to think?
I think we could have. Here's what I would have, and I always want more pre-taping character. And these guys are comedy 101. And if you're going to blur the lines and bring them right from NXT, because there's the hot button guys who only had 30 days from when they got fired till now, to be like, oh, they're on the show and pop the crowd. These guys could have got it over that they thought they were going to NXT and their GPS took them to the wrong arena. And they're just like, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I mean? And they walk out and have to have a match that way instead of calling out the top guys. Why? Because they're all friends from the indies. Kingston, Mox, all these guys. And it was a buddy favor to get these guys on there quickly and with no backstory. Well, that's what AEW does best.
I think that's what all of wrestling does best nowadays. Nobody's just giving me simple promos and video packages. Just 30 seconds. Just give me something.
Right.
Shouldn't be that hard. If I can make it here in my apartment with my green screen, I think you can do it within a highly professionalized with the budget that each company has. So following that, the match here, the winner of this match, John Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allin. It ends with Moxley got the tag, hit a double clothesline, released German suplex on Parker, lariat, hit his X-plex where he throws in the air and flips you in the air. Parker eats a spinning back fist, and then Garcia tries to sneak attack on Mox before he hits the paradigm shift and a coffin drop by Darby Allin. So Your winners.
Mox got baby weight, or do you guys think? I don't know. He doesn't look super jacked, man, but he was kind of puffy. You know what I mean? I don't know.
My notice was you're never really growing those curls back out again. That's what I was thinking. Those curls ain't coming back, buddy.
But on the other side, Kingston Kingston dropped probably about 15, 20 pounds, man. He's trying his best to get to TV shape, you know, from coming kind of slovenly.
He said Kingston?
Yeah.
Well, that just depends on if he remembers to suck his gut in or not. I don't think he's really changed one bit.
I think as a fat guy who's always on that line,
reason I say that is because I've seen it where I was like, oh man, Eddie Kingston slimmed down. Then at a different point in the match, I'm like, oh, there it is. So it could be that. It depends. You just got to watch carefully and make sure. We wish the best for Eddie.
Yeah, man. They got their push night one. That's what they're thinking, bro, is who are these guys? How will they get over? A little promo and to get in there with Mox. That's enough shine to establish them. We didn't have time to shoot shit because we had cut Max Caster's promo.
I am not touching anybody. Can't a space fan. Chat room. Moving on. Video package looks back at the history between Brian Cage and Ricky Starks with Team Taz around him. Starks says he will outshine Cage as the new FTW champion. Taz throws his 2 cents in. Cage says he never even wanted the title and asks the question, who's better than Brian Cage? One thing that this promo I found a little just confusing is, you know, Brian Cage, decent promo, but what he was saying is in regards to, I never even wanted to join Team Taz. I never even wanted the FTW championship. So I'm just like, so you're that easily manipulated to do what others want? Like, you're the machine. What do you mean you didn't want that? You wanted that. Well, don't lie to me now. But other than that, I the whole package was good. I thought all three.
He spent a long time not wanting it too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Like quite a while.
There's another Light the Fuse host who will remain unnamed in this story, but I got the inside scoop that he was helping to agent something with Mr. Cage and just doesn't get it. Like, was wanting to go 50-50 with girls and take a finisher, and he just doesn't get it, man. I mean, the guy's got money written all over him and has no idea how to paint with his brushes the right way, you know? And it's sad because I look at that guy and I think of when you got a Ryback, Anthony Bravado from OVW, like that guy makes everybody else credible, you know? But then when he's doing shit that dives and 360 tope con helos or whatever the fuck, you're like, doesn't get it.
I mean, his name is Mr. GMSI, so right there you should have known that he was, you know, beyond help.
I mean, but the guy's just so exactly what you want in wrestling, you know what I mean? And with all, I guess, genius, there's retardation or madness, you can say. So I guess the bigger they are, sometimes they just still don't get it. It's too bad.
Who better than Cage? Apparently no one.
Christian Cage, who does get it.
That's a great segue because that match is coming up here after this next package. But there first was a Being the Elite little package that happened here. We've got the Elite goofing around, shooting hoops. Doc Gallows wearing a Ric Flair-esque robe, which I thought was funny. Nick Jackson wonders if there's anyone else for them to face in the ring. Matt says there's nobody left. Kenny Omega taunted Hangman Page about last week's match. Said when it came down to the buzzer beater, Omega shoots shot after shot, and then he misses at the end. Page blew it. And Omega asked Cutler to cut down the net because they are retiring as champions. Nick does some crow sounds, and they celebrate. So let me ask you this. Let's say they keep Hangman in the feud. I hope they're not deviating away from this and not taking away the main event they've been building to, this 2-year build that everyone's been talking about. So I hope they don't take that opportunity away from it. If there is nobody left, I mean, does this potentially set the seeds for Punk and Bryan to take on the Bucks?
That's why they're taking them out of it, possibly.
That's what I was thinking, is they were setting the seeds up for Punk and Bryan. We have nobody else to face, so we'll bring Punk and Bryan in to face the Young. Not that they would win. I'm not even saying you have to have them win the tag titles, but you have Punk and Bryan come in. And
well, it's the big debuts that they didn't think they were going to have them. Right. 6 months ago, if they've been building this for 2 years, and I believe that he is that meticulous in his mindset, that was going to be the payoff. Now you wait. They had the meeting. Do we pay it off of everything we've been building, or do we use these two monster stars who are way more over than Adam Page in that spot, and we just got to kind of derail his thing that way, and then after that we can bring it back around.
So you don't think that they're still going to give us the Hangman Kenny Omega at the next pay-per-view, the big one, All Out? You think they're pushing away from that?
Where is All Out?
I think it's in. Is it All Out in Chicago? I want to say.
So why would you do it? You know.
Well, I mean, at that point, that you could still have them. The AEW crowd has been trained, and they love Hangman Page, so they've been trained to follow this story. You don't have to have Punk in the main event or a Daniel Bryan in the main event, right? If you're going to be in Chicago, as long as he's there, the crowd's going to go home happy, and the audience is going to be happy itself. And you could still play out this Hangman Page, Kenny Omega feud that they've been building, and I feel like the AEW audience is behind.
I agree.
Vet, did you have any thoughts before we move on this Elite backstage? What do you think? We've never had you on, so this would be a good question. Do you find the Elite stuff campy, funny, garbage? What do you think of this? The Elite, how they do their stuff?
It's a rib on the business, which I never like.
Oh, okay.
I don't appreciate that. I mean, if you separate, what you do as your own little private projects on the side and stuff like that, and you do that for the entertainment, for the fans that are so inside that they're going to follow everything that you do, that's one thing. But when it bleeds onto your weekly television show, then I have a problem. And so that's one of the reasons why I think it would be that the suggestion that possibly two guys, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, which again, not confirmed, but we all pretty much, kind of thinking that's what's going to happen, right? These are guys that in the new era of wrestling have somewhat tried to take it seriously. They've never done anything like PWG-ish, in any of their runs. And now you got these two guys that are just joking around and like everything's a rib to them. Everything's a joke to them. Their book is called Killing the Business because it's based on what they were, accused of. So they're just having fun with all this. I just don't. It would be so bizarre for me to see those two guys walk into a company and then just be taking like 20 super kicks in a match. Can you see CM Punk eating 20 super kicks? Can anybody here see that? I just want to know. In the chat, let me know. You see Daniel Bryan and CM Punk going along with this cartoon bullshit that the Young Bucks perpetuate on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis?
No.
Okay.
I do not see that. And that's a good point. I mean, so it sounds like, as you mentioned there, if they're doing their being the Elite thing, they're on YouTube series, fine, that's cool. But once it bleeds on to television, that's where it becomes an issue as far as for you as being an individual from the wrestling business and as a viewer, a casual viewer of AEW, just turning it on.
A lot of the people here feel the same that are watching us right now. So,
I don't disagree. I think a lot of the people here itself probably have that kind of a jaded view. They don't like a lot of what AEW does, and I can understand that as well. But you talked about Christian Cage a moment ago. He is up next to take on the Blade, who's accompanied by the Bunny. And Cage charges right out. So they didn't even get to do the patented, brass knuckles check they've been doing on Blade for the last couple of weeks. They did mention that, of course. And it almost came up in the end as well, as Blade tried to rip off the turnbuckle pad to distract the ref and go for the brass knuckles. But Christian caught him with the spear, and he covered him, and he pinned him. So Christian is the winner of this match using Edge's finisher. Buddy, so what do you think of this match, Shat Maffer?
Yeah, I like this match a lot. I mean, Christian is so just the timing of where he needs to be. I like to watch his footwork, how he feeds for things, man. I try and pick up on that because he's just got it. I mean, that's a master of this craft, knowing where he is ring wise. And I like his timing on cells and every other thing that way. And I'm super happy for Pepper Parks. I call him that, the Blade. Even though his partner's off now, and the Butcher and the Blade thing was a rough start, even though it had money written all over it. I'm glad to see a guy that is my 2CW brother, who's worked his ass off, who's passed it on in Buffalo and helped build that territory, get the chance to be working Christian Cage on TV, regardless of whatever happens in a match. That makes me happy because I know how hard that guy's worked and how many miles he's put in. And now he can go back to the hotel tonight with his super fine lady and be like, that's what I've been dreaming about for 10 years. You know what I mean? And that for a wrestler, can't really convey that to the fans. That's a real, like, I'm here, bro. You know, after being, I'll let him beat us. We'll go under. We're just happy to be on TV. Here, he's got a little something with the brass knucks, and he's doing it with a guy that's trying to do business, even though, you know, Christian's up here just based on legendary status as well.
Bet. Thoughts?
Yeah, all that stuff. Plus, the only thing I would say is that I know that this is a thing for the older guys, that it's got to be a thing where they just feel as though they have to prove that they belong here. So, like the thing where he jumped from the outside, you know, from the inside to the outside and landed awkwardly, and he, you know, sold his knee, which could have been a work, but in any case, it might have ended up not being a work. So, you know, those kind of things you don't need to do. You know, show that you can be entertaining and work a good match without trying to, you know, keep up with the Joneses or whatever the analogy would be. Right. So, and it's not like the Blade is one of those guys that you got to feel like pressured to keep up with the high flying stuff either. Right. So it just don't do that, old guys, please. And other than that, just a question, like, is the Butcher, where's he at?
I think he's doing stuff with his band.
Okay, so
he's injured, and now like he's on tour with them or what have you. So I'm sure he'll come back when they need him, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think with the music scene starting back up again, I think his band's booked to play some shows right now. They're doing like a mini run or whatever. So following that, we get another package, the rivalry between FTR and Santana and Ortiz. We have Dax talking about Wheeler's arm getting caught on the turnbuckle hook, which caused him to bleed out a ton. Cuts a pretty impassionate promo, says he almost watched his friend bleed out, but they have one more match down the road. Dax says death couldn't stop Wheeler, so what are Santana and Ortiz gonna do about it? What'd you think of this, Ben?
I liked it because I got hot about why WWE didn't do it with Natty Neidhart in Tamina. It's the exact thing they should have done. An injury sucks, but creatively, it's a blessing, heel or babyface, to make wrestling legitimate when people say it's phony as shit. Oh, yeah, why is my ankle cracked? Oh, yeah, why is my tricep hanging off the fucking bone after I just got gigged from the goddamn ring? Like, that's not fake. And that leads to an impassioned promo of like, this guy is ready to fucking die out here cutting arteries on missed spots and shit. So I thought they did a good job with it here because I was missing it on WWE. I was happy to see them actually reference it.
Any thoughts of it?
It's just kind of unfortunate that the only real heat that you can get in the impassioned promo has to come from something that was completely accidental.
Right.
You know, because these people do all this shit to each other and it's phony, so they come back the next week like nothing happened. But, you know, one tiny, you know, millimeter off fuck up and this guy's life was in danger. So that just, this is what kind of makes wrestling look bad in a lot of like the Laps fans' eyes and other stuff, because we're not trying to make people believe anymore. It takes an accident for us to try to believe something.
Yeah, it seems like any time over the last couple of years that a wrestler that's gotten hot has been off of a quote unquote missed big injury, right? I mean, wow, maybe not to the
Britt
big
Baker.
I was going to say Britt Baker. I was going to say maybe she's not as big as everybody wanted her to be, but Becky Lynch coming off of the broken nose with Nia, that got her big. So it seems like if you get injured, you can make money off of it.
Break my nose, Briz, so we can fucking get over.
Giant.
Well, at least Nia did punch her in the face.
It's true.
Becky didn't cut herself on like a jagged chair piece or something accidentally.
That's a good point.
Well, there's always next week.
It's always
Let's just wait, brother.
Well, next week, speaking of next week, they set up a match for next week. We in the ring as we got Tony Schiavone introducing the AEW Women's Champion Britt Baker with Reba. Tony brings up next week in Pittsburgh, and you know she got a good reception, if you will, in Jacksonville. Baker says that this is where she became the champion, but before she can get anything else out, Red Velvet comes out. First of all, I'm a little disappointed we didn't get the little Red Velvet thing. If you're going to do it, you got to do it every week. You're doing it every week if you're not going to do it.
Especially this was her most highlighted time in the history of her. She got mic time, and what the spotlight was really on her. That was the absolute time to get that shit over. That's a great point, Matt.
So she says, though, before she can say anything else, she starts by saying that red is not your color, that she wants a piece of DMD. She kind of gives her a little bit of shove. Baker brings up beating Velvet in 3 minutes and says, I'm a different person. Red Velvet also says, yeah, but I've won 7 straight, and she's not enhancement talent any longer. By the way, I didn't.
That's terrible,
She said
bro.
that line, by the way. Yeah.
Like she was dead in the water right there.
I was like,
Dead
why
in
would you
the
say
water.
that? I was like, why would you point that out?
That shows how green
She's
it
in the Young Bucks company. That's why. They don't see no problem with that.
I don't know I don't know if you guys recall, but I personally do remember when Daniel Bryan came and he got big. I remember all him talking about all his NXT promos and stuff like that. It hit really well with the audience.
Yeah, it was the most over shit. You want to beat Red Velvet? Stand on the outside of the ring, let her dive at you, and then sidestep while she scorpions herself. Throw her back in and pin her. There's the key to victory from now until the end of time. Or lay on the ground and let her try and hit a moonsault and miss by 3 feet, and then put her in whatever fucking choke out that you want. And she
keeps getting lucky and not getting hurt, so she's not getting as big as she needs to get.
Yeah, if she would only break her neck,
yeah,
she'd be fucking over. 110 pounds looks like, everybody makes the fucking jokes that, hey, Brandy's looking good, lost the baby weight already, and back out there. Like, it's not believable. Definitely not here, and it's just feeder. So, like, what are we supposed to believe that Red Velvet's going to be any contender for, it's almost as bad as what we have with Goldberg and showing up to be just feeder what we know is going to happen. So, except she's no Goldberg, but who is?
So
this is not it.
Yeah, just to finish up, I was going to say Velvet challenges her and Baker accepts next week on AEW Rampage, on the brand new AEW Rampage, debuting on TNT next Friday night. Velvet and Britt Baker will go one-on-one for the championship. Baker does drop Velvet, stomps her to the mat, chokes Velvet a bit with her, and as the music plays, then holds up the title. That's how that segment ended.
Hey, all right.
It's great.
So Velvet did make a point that she's 22-4 now.
Yeah.
How many of those 22 were on Dynamite?
And
you guys have been watching every week, so have I. I don't recall.
I think the four. I think the 4 were.
The 4 L's were on. The 4 L's were on, right?
Yes.
So So once again, this is just like this. This goes back to my Dark comment earlier. What am I watching here? Is this who? It almost looks like she only. And the last time we saw her in a significant role, she was a Brandy surrogate because she had to step in and face Jade Cargill on Brandy's behalf, and then she's just kind of been swept under the rug.
The storyline was that Britt Baker said, this wins and losses bullshit that you want to do means nothing. I bring eyes to the product. I'm the voice of it, da-da-da-da. And then they tried to send her to Dark to get wins to cover their ass, and that went, no one gave a shit about that part of the storyline anymore. But now we're back to 22-4 means I get a fucking opportunity because I beat who? On Dark and what matches and whatnot. And Britt, when she was going on the run to cover their ass for saying that she needed the wins to do that, Red Velvet was one of the ones that she tuned up in under 3 minutes to be a joke. But now that was when she was just enhancement talent. Wink, wink, guys. Phony wrestling, real contract, and what I have to do business. Now back to phony wrestling, why I'm the number 1 contender. Wow. What a terrible reality break, terrible writing. This was just embarrassing to me, bro, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Vet, this is something I've harped about since the start of AEW. The fact that they tried to make the ranking system mean something. So by adding wins and losses, it adds value to the divisions. But then they hold a lot of these matches on AEW Dark, and these matches aren't showcased to the public. We get no recaps. And then these matches itself aren't important. I made a point earlier this year when Billy Gunn had his first official match on Dynamite. He comes out and he's 10-0. I'm like, well, why the fuck isn't he the number 1 contender if he's 10-0? Like, he's Billy Gunn.
He looks way bigger than everybody else, and they can't stand next to him because it won't be believable.
Same thing with Jake Hager. Jake Hager has won his last 11 matches. Well, why is he fighting Wardlow? Why isn't he in the main event? It just they build up these big win columns, but then it doesn't translate into their rankings, so it means nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it does mean nothing. I mean, it's nice that they have it just so that they can say,
right,
hey, this is a record. And I guess the idea would be, you got these internet shows anyways. So if someone shows up on Dynamite, that would, if you're interested, that's the theory, right? That it would drive traffic. It's like, well, shit, if this person's racking up wins, maybe I better go watch Dark sometime. That's the idea. I mean, I can't blame them for it. I don't know how many people really feel that way. I just kind of feel like the people that just can't get enough AEW, they're already watching. I don't think anybody's really influenced one way or the other. But I mean, that's the least of AEW's problems. I'm not going to give them too much shit for that.
Joseph here, though, in the chat room brings up a good point. They put the results, though, of Dark on the bottom, and it scrolls by to read. Even during the Miro match, the guy he was taking on, they had his results scroll by the bottom from his Dark match. They really needed to. It does not take long to make a 2 to 3 minute highlight package. I got paid for it weekly working for the Western Hockey League, and I had to do it on the fly. You guys can make a highlight package when you've got a whole week of Dark content to say.
Not when you've got to edit Dark, Rampage, Dynamite, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm available for hire.
If you've got a choreograph for the cheerleaders, he's got all these hats he's got to wear, bro. He doesn't have time to do 2 to 3 minute drops so to actually explain something and further a storyline.
DDP's team there, they could do something. Make a highlight package. Show me what happened on Dark, or put it on your YouTube. At least put a highlight package on YouTube and say, hey, go to our YouTube if you can get to the whole show and watch the highlight package.
They can't be trusted. They're the ones who didn't cut the Max Caster promo.
It's all right, man. If they put a 30, 45 second highlight package, you'll be like, why are you wasting 45 seconds of my time on Dark? I don't care. So it's all good.
No, I wouldn't. I've been bitching about it since the beginning. Give me a recap package. I want something.
Me and Sil usually have to go, MSG, did they do this on Dark? And he's like, no, they didn't do shit on it. Oh, okay. We're right. Or it'll be, well, on Dark, they've got this 7 week they don't show 1 minute of it on Dynamite to actually set some shit up. You're just supposed to know this whole backstory out of nowhere that seems like a cold match. Okay.
They do a lot of stuff on BTE, and then they don't explain it to the main audience. Like they kind of did. They finally started with the Hangman and Dark Order, but that's because they had to. They got forced to. Okay, we should probably really explain why the Dark Order is now with Hangman. You know what I mean? But that all started on BTE, and then just ended up on television one day.
Well, speaking of AEW Dark, I think we got a Fuego del Sol sighting coming up pretty soon here, right?
But first off, we had Hangman Page. He's actually brought back out with Tony Schiavone to clarify some of his earlier comments he made. Now, the Elite then come out before he could say anything. Page says, look, he's glad Matt and Nick came out. He had something he needed to clear the air with them. Before he could talk, though, Omega gets in the ring, says that, apparently he's trying to find some self-worth and make a plea to rejoin the Elite. Page says no, that's not what he's trying to do. And Omega says he thinks Page shares a lot in common with the audience, that he's a try-hard. He says that when he thinks about what the Elite was what they are now, Page just doesn't fit in with them. Cowboy or not, the Elite does not have any time for losers in the group. Page slaps Omega. This breaks out into a brawl. Dark Order tries to run out, but Uno and Grayson tell them no because Page asked them, so they stopped the Dark Order from helping Page. Bunch of BTE triggers. Kazarian tries to run out and help, but he doesn't last long. Cutler sprays him with some cold spray. I thought that was funny. And then Nakazawa even tossed the basketball at him. And then Omega says he's pissed as he holds the title on Page's face and says, look at this. This is the closest he's ever going to get to it. And then they throw him down. And the Being the Elite music start. What did you think of this, Ben?
I guess we knew it was coming. I thought it was super corny, kind of that player Uno and Dos hold back the Dark Order. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so mad, but I can't get by my own guys that way. I'm passionate, but I'm not enough. I guess I'll let you push me back while they beat my friend up. Like that it should have been the opposite. Like they could stop them for a minute where they're like, should we? Fuck yeah, we should. And everybody goes, you know what I mean? Like we get it, Paige. You're trying to protect us, but fuck that, buddy. We're here. And like, you imagine that? Like, me and Vet are sitting there and Matt's getting the shit kicked out by 5 guys. And he's like, Ken Shamrock, I got this, bro. And fucking, and then we run down where we could equalize it and help Matt and go, Matt really wanted this beating and fucking we just
usually when guys say I need to do this on my own, they weren't foreseeing getting gang beaten by like 10 guys. It's usually more like I don't need your help in a fair contest.
Right.
Not so much like after they've completely turned the tables on you. Then I don't think they mind any help.
But then your homies run down and you're getting your ass kicked or whatever, and they just stop and stand there and go.
Sometimes I walk in,
and it's the 2 main homies too, not the jabroni homies. homies. It's the main ones telling them, no, so is this setting up something? No, they're not that smart.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Sometimes for fun, I walk into bad neighborhoods by myself. I'm just like, fuck this. I got this.
They're like, look at the little handicapped white boy. He must not be right.
I usually have my Rasta bill on, so they just think I'm high off my ass. All right, leave him alone. This guy's high. Let him wander. But getting to this, this another good point. This would have been for a video package. I don't mean to bring this up, but on Dynamite, they've never really explained the fallout between Hangman Page and the Elite. All of that happened on Being the Elite. In fact, they did a good 6 months back and forth where Hangman and Matt and Nick were trying to apologize to each other, but people kept interfering in it, whether it had been Matt Hardy and the Hardy faction or whoever it was. So that's kind of like what this was supposed to be, like Hangman maybe coming out and finally trying to apologize to Matt, trying to bury that hatchet. But again, no video package means nothing.
Well, Matt cut the huge promo on him like 4 weeks ago, calling him a drunk and everything. Remember that? And all that shit. So I totally with you. Like, we're going to finish playing out the game, the Waka Waka interruption game. But then we finally got it resolved. Nobody knows that game. Right. Nobody knows that fucking happened whatsoever. So they think they're cute and smart on TV, but it comes off as something less than because they think they're paying it off. Well, your audience hasn't been conditioned to that at all. Well, you guys need to watch Being the Elite. No, fuck that. You need to explain and show me what the fuck is going on.
Same, yeah.
I am sympathetic, though. I know it's hard because you can only apologize to somebody with cameras on. There's no other time, really. You know what I mean? So, like, I get it. It's a struggle, and it's hard. So,
It's a shame. It's a shame. Well, Miro with Lee Johnson was up next. But before that, we got a quick little backstage segment with Dan Lambert from the American Top Team. Says he hasn't forgotten what Lance Archer did to him a couple weeks ago. Lambert says, you know what hurts more than taking a blackout? The truth. Lambert says he's returning next week, and he's bringing backup this time. So apparently the two MMA fighters that were in the crowd with him the first time weren't good enough backup.
Amanda Nunes got COVID, supposedly, and who was the other guy they had? Fucking Jorge Masvidal. Yeah, they're not tough whatsoever.
Not at all. Well, next week, Jake Hager will be joining him or something, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a Colby Covington appearance. Man, wouldn't that be something if I got Colby Covington there?
That would be tight with John. I mean, I don't know if John Hartnett and them have patched up, but Hartnett would be great in there too, bro. But this is what I'm looking forward to because that shoot, bang, bang that he did last time before doing business was phenomenal and saying exactly what needs to be said. So I'm excited for Dan Lambert's return.
Following that, Miro taking on Lee Johnson for the TNT Championship. I mean, I don't mean to be that guy, but this was one of those matches on paper that you kind of went, Miro's going to win.
Yeah, but this was bad, though. Dude, he gave Lee Johnson way too much. He should have beat Lee Johnson in under 3 minutes. They went fucking 9.
Malachi Black needs to be the powerful one tonight. He gets to win.
Yeah, because Lee Johnson playing with Miro. Apparently, well, what else does that mean? How does God feel about Miro when he has to pull 10 minutes?
It means he cares about him.
God doesn't like him as much as he liked him last week when he beat a guy in 3 minutes. That he gave him the power. Well, apparently God doesn't like you as much this week, buddy, because you had to go pull some time with a guy who nobody knows and probably paid his $4,500 to QT and almost got his neck broken on Dark. And this is all fucking reward. So they can say, we gave him every opportunity. Miro gave this guy way too much time. Should have eaten his lunch and fucking snapped and napped him within under 2 or 3 minutes, man. Not the right booking here.
BMG, what do you see?
Lee Johnson, huh? I know I mentioned this a couple of times. Is this Dark? Are you sure this is Dynamite that I watch? Because I'm seeing Lee Johnson on my television, and I kind of feel like that's more of maybe a elevation type thing, not so much a Dynamite. This is kind of like, and I want to tie this back into the Dan Lambert thing and the idea of bringing in MMA guys to mingle with pro wrestlers, right? When you got a match like this, or any of the foolishness with the habitual leg slapping and all this kind of like the cartoon wrestling that some of these guys do, like, then you bring in some MMA for some credibility, but it just doesn't. Now it's like it makes everybody look bad. It makes the MMA guys look bad for sinking down to this level, and it makes these guys look foolish for trying to, like, you know, step up like above their experience level and do some of that.
I don't know, bro. It's like not the best look, right? Like, what's going on, man, with homie?
Not quite.
I will say, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I just like, dude, that super kick spot where he like kicked him like 5 times or whatever, and Miro's just pinwheeling his arms, like, really? And now you want to bring in American Top Team and like associate with these idiots? Like, there's just no. I'm just so disappointed in everyone. I can't even.
I was going to say, in fairness to Lee Johnson, AEW has had him on before, and they brought him. He is one of the characters that went through the Nightmare Factory, so he got to go through the whole storyline of getting elevated from dark.
I know that, but like, he didn't even. Did he come out wearing his Team Nightmare Cody tracksuit, or did he show any association? Did anybody come out with a Waffle House menu to escort him to the ring? Like, where's the entourage? We know that Lee Johnson just got adopted into this Nightmare family, but he just walked out like a bum here. So fuck all that, right?
Yeah. You showed that picture just a second ago of Mox. That was from the end of the 6-man tag. I was going to point out though, for Kingston, the wide shot of him with Sting and Mox, that's a cool put it in your house and show your kids picture type moment. I just thought that was a cool moment for Eddie Kingston.
Or you could have somebody who's fucking over-prepared, ready to fucking go. I mean, you got a fucking Greek pillar storyline, and you're not going to base this guy in there? I mean, what the fuck, bro?
Slathered in Zordos, if I'm not mistaken.
Ultra premium.
High on the caffeine from Russo Bros Coffee at thebroasters.com.
No, he was on Dippin' Donuts that night. Dimitri brought a bunch of donuts for everybody, like boxes full and coffee. And then I asked the doc's kid is there with him. He has 2 daughters and his son, the littlest one, he's probably about, I gotta probably say 9 or 10. And a skinny little dude, and there's a box of about 15 donuts. And I go, brother, I'll give you $20 right now if you can polish off that box. His fucking eyes. He looked at him. He goes, I don't think I can do it. He thought about it hard for a minute to make himself sick off of a full dozen and a half of donuts. But next time we'll get him to puke in the car ride home.
So next Friday, they announced that AEW Rampage is debuting with Excalibur, Taz, Chris Jericho, and Mark Henry on commentary. They also go backstage, and we find out from Tony Schiavone and Christian Cage that now Christian Cage is, because of him being undefeated in AEW, he's now the new #1 contender for the AEW World Championship. Christian appreciates it, says that they walked the door in AEW. It was to take back the title, take back his legacy. It was taken from him 7 years ago. Says that next week he'll be on Dynamite and Rampage, and he's known to stir stuff up. He tells Tony, what's better than being good? Elite. So it looks like Tony Khan might go ahead and hotshot his favorite wrestler up to the ladder. Looks like we might get Kenny Omega versus Christian first before we get Kenny Omega Hangman. Am I right reading that, Vet?
I mean, it's possible, but you know how the rankings work. You can just make the right money match no matter who's #1, #2, #3. You've seen this in boxing all the time. The rankings are just a mild suggestion at this point. I can't believe no one interrupted Christian. I mean, he was out there and it wasn't a pre-tape. Why didn't nobody interrupt him? I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. We already had 2 other interruptions on this show so far. I can't believe Christian made it through, but he did somehow. So maybe he really is the true #1 contender.
Ben?
You're coming for me. Yeah, what was this?
Promo, Christian, #1 contender now.
Yeah, I mean it's there. I mean he can walk in and do what he wants as the veteran. I don't know about #1 contendership with Daniel Bryan and CM Punk coming in. I'd rather stay in the middle and fight the guys that are the babyface darlings, tag with guys that need a shine, help get them over. I think that's where your money's best spent with a guy like Christian, because all you're going to do is put him in against your top guys and not put the strap on him. We kind of know already out of the gate what that's going to look like. Let's do something a little more character based instead of I'm here to be the AEW champ. That is for Omega and those guys to stay over on there. I don't think Christian being the champ is what it would be anything to help draw tickets. When he did it in Impact and TNA, it was like the coming of age. I can be the top guy too, and he had something to prove then. Now it's more of a knowledge pass, and I got somebody's back to help elevate somebody. And if we're not doing that, then we're kind of off the rails of getting max value out of why we brought him into the first place.
Christian Cage in Impact was great.
Yeah, dude, phenomenal.
So we move past that to our second to last match here, the Bunny with HFO versus Layla Hirsch with the Best Friends. The winner of this match gets to move forward in the NWA Women's World Championship tournament. Layla Hirsch won. Any thoughts, Vet?
It was all right. I liked her folk style suicide dive. That was nice. I know that nobody in this match used a pizza cutter, but I noticed Little Caesar slid into that spot, like going right into the break. I don't know how everybody else got to watch this, but little picture-in-picture, Little Caesar swooped in, took that spot. So, hey, no problem there. Pizza, still pizza.
Yeah. Speaking of when you said dive, one thing I wanted to go back to the guys who
folk style dive. She learned that folk style wrestling dive.
But the NXT guys that came over, what's their name again? The morning show guys.
2.0,
yeah. Dude, when he was on the outside and Darby came flying through, bro, and hit him, man, I thought old boy broke his neck. I haven't seen anybody take a blindside dive like that ever. It was nasty. That was the fucking nastiest shot of the night. But yeah, this was interesting because I like Layla Hirsch a lot, man. I think I don't want to call her, she's like not dwarf or or
she's the tallest you can be without being legally classified as that,
as a dwarf. And being like, we've got other hot girls. We see the NWA champion Camille Brickhouse at the end of this looks like a sexual goddess, right? I like that, and not that Layla Hirsch is unattractive by any means. She's just different and unique. When we can have sexy, we can have all that for days from different girls. That girl stands out, A, because I like her amateur Greco-Roman style, and B, her body type is very interesting, as much as Jade Cargill is on the other end of that spectrum. I think it's very cool to have people of that diverse body style in the women's division when we've been so conditioned to the Johnny Ace model search, turn them into a wrestler. You know what I mean? And now we're kind of with the big, ugly, grumpy club in WWE of women who are unattractive. Layla Hirsch is still attractive, don't get me wrong, but unique to see in a match. I think that's pretty cool. And this was a lot of mistiming in the beginning and not the best performance I've seen from him, but you can say that about some of my matches. Some hit and some don't. Unfortunately, on TV, you want it to be hitting all the time and do the right business. But at the end, people see Camille Brickhouse, and you're like, God damn, dog. So this worked. And I know if Sylvia was here, he'd be probably a little hot of why are we not highlighting our top women and kind of highlighting the mid-card girls, but at least the girls are getting some time here. I hope they can get over with it.
Well, speaking of that, Mark Sterling afterwards says people are probably wondering where Jade Cargill is and why she hasn't been wrestling. He says they've been in Hollywood, they've been doing marketing, getting deals done, expanding the brand. Says they're back, and lucky you, Vet, she's wrestling a match on Dark. So, I mean, there you go. You can watch her on Dark.
I'm going to set my notification bell.
Dude, but at the end, they get it wrong. You don't go, we're doing endorsements, we're going to Hollywood and da-da-da-da, and then come back with, I'm that bitch. This stupid tagline that they're trying to get over that is so ghetto and so fucking dumb when she is a valued blue chip athlete, Serena, Venus Williams. How many times can we say this? So they'd never go to Nike and go, I'm that fucking bitch. That's why you should pay me. No, it's because look at me. I'm dedicated to my physique. I have a higher education. I'm an elite athlete, and I can represent your brand to the top. Oh, by the way, cunt, bitch, cock, sucker, titty, motherfucker. Like, what'd you just say? Like, out of nowhere? Like, stop demeaning yourself with this dumb world star ghetto ass shit and be the superstar athlete you're supposed to be, that EST was supposed to be, and now she's nothing but, Shanae next door slapping her ass and dancing around with door knocker earrings on. Be a fucking top athlete. be the LeBron James of what the fuck you're trying to do.
Yeah, I also want to point out just a little nitpicking here from a production standpoint. If you're going to do a video package, you can't just show one excrement of B-roll. You're either going to show multiple shots of B-roll to establish her story, the narrative, or you don't show any B-roll.
She hasn't done shit. She hasn't done anything.
I know, but I'm saying they could have easily filmed her signing a contract or doing a photo shoot or something. All they did was throw up a
red carpet. Boom,
right. All they
boom,
did
boom.
was put up a Hollywood mountain. I'm just saying as a B-roll.
Yeah, zero show don't tell. Like of her with us. Like how hard would it be to get a fucking David Arquette to do a little thing or whatever it is? You know what I mean? To get her in that mix, we couldn't even get that done. But when you got to edit Rampage and you got to edit fucking Dark and you got to edit AEW, there's no time for these extras.
What do I know about video? I don't have a degree.
No, you don't know shit.
Oh, shit. Malachi,
That's why you're the fuck out of here.
That's why I'm out of here. I'm fucking out of here. Next week on Dynamite, Dan Lambert's returning. Some mystery backup. Christian teases stirring things up with the Elite. Chris Jericho versus Wardlow with MJF as the ref. Nyla Rose with Nikki Guerrero versus Chris Statlander and Orange Cassidy. And the Good Brothers are defending the Impact Championship against Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, as well as the Vet's going to be here next week because he's on every show now. So he'll be.
Well, you know, I wouldn't presume to, but you know,
Malachi Black. Malachi Black versus Cody Rhodes was your main event, and I thought this was the best thing on the show.
It was.
You had a great entrance from Malachi Black. I liked his mask and the use of the face mask too. I incorporated that into his character, and this match was fast. Malachi Black dominated, took out Cody Rhodes' legs, hit him with the swinging kick or whatever you want to call it, and took him out. It was done. And then after the match, it looked like Cody Rhodes was going to retire, and Tony Schiavone's helping him up. He gives him a crutch. Cody Rhodes eventually puts the crutch back over in the turnbuckle or corner. And then Malachi Black shows up as Cody Rhodes is taking off his boots to signify his being done in wrestling after he gives a heartfelt retirement speech. Malachi Black grabs the crutch and hits Cody Rhodes over the back of it. And we go off the air with Malachi Black standing over him, wondering if Black has retired Cody as the show closes. Before Ben gives his thoughts, Vet, what did you think?
The match was right, like you guys have said. Like this should have been, but in the end, it's still just serving Cody. Like I look at Cody as everything he does I see as very like disingenuous and manufactured and carefully calculated to try to manipulate the fans into, being on his side. And it just comes with a general phoniness that I'm seeing through. So even though he puts over Black in this, then he's got to do hold on, let me get my thoughts together, get sympathy for me, do this promo. Was I the only one that wished that Black would have came out earlier and kicked him again, like rather than listen to his rambling nonsense? I kind of wish. Was the crutch was there? Was the crutch symbolic of something? Like it's symbolic of itself. Like you need this crutch in order to take me down. Like you hit me with the other finish, like you guys were talking about earlier. I just thought another one of those kicks would have been good, especially if you're trying to get the kick over like you did with Arn Anderson and some of the other guys that he hit with. Fuego del Sol, I believe, was another victim of the kick. What were you saying, Matt? I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying you didn't like the continuity in the scene of him putting Cody puts the crutch away in the corner. You forget about it, but then they come back to it later at the end.
Yeah, because when do you ever see that? When does the doctor slide a crutch into the ring rather than check on this guy that just got kicked in the head and start looking at some concussion protocols? You see what I'm saying? You see how that's like a complete disconnect from reality? Are you following me there? He got kicked in the head, knocked out.
The doctor was in. The doctor does get in the ring, though, after the match.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah, after the match, he is in the ring before Tony gets in with him, and then the doctor slides out and then slides the crutch back in.
Okay. All right, fine. So I missed that. But, so I don't know. The crutch, I don't know if you needed it because it was just there for him to get hit with. I think it's fine if Black comes back and finishes the job by his own hands. I like that story better than, what they end up doing, hitting with with another object. So
good.
Yeah, buries his finisher. His finisher is a knockout finisher. Soon as he cuts the promo, it's dead in the water. It doesn't mean shit. We just go, wrestling's phony. It's more important for me to get my Triple H shit in right here and do the big
Triple
baby
H.
face.
Yep.
Yeah, and do the
he's a Triple H plus John Cena. Like he takes everything that he knows or thinks wrestling is came from those two guys, but it may be like the worst aspects of their personalities. And what I would like is if he got up and cut some rambling, promo about his future, like immediately after losing this match for some reason. If that's part of the after effects of taking that kick, okay, then that's a story we can tell. But I don't give him even that much credit that he thought that much into it. I thought he was just going to be like, I'll get kicked, I'll get a retirement speech in, and then I'll get hit with a crutch again. Or,
I think he knew that, and that was his paint on there of like, well, I can't get right up and do that, so I'm going to fake stumble and bumble before I start down the road to give this soliloquy, right, real quick, like, no, right. Here's how the show should end. Quick match, eat a little more time with another segment or whatever we got to do, and then fucking spin kick, boom, he's out. Stand on him, pin. I don't know if I like that disrespect as much. I think pin him. He could have press pinned him, and then Aleister Black sitting Indian style while Cody's there, knocked out, drooling on himself, looking at the fucking camera or looking down at Cody, and we have the shot that way. But after that, anything post that undoes all that we just did right there. That's all self-serving, egregious shit. And if anything, wait one more week after being knocked out and come back and do the, this guy's kick is fucking unbelievable. Doctors told me I need to take some time off. Tony Khan gave me a 1-minute concussion protocol back there. I didn't get the Matt Hardy clearance, and now I have to chill. And, I've worked hard for 3 years and appreciate. You could open the show with this and take the boots off and leave them there, and then motherfucker comes with whatever you want him to. Or he goes to turn around and he goes all the way up to the ramp, looks back over his shoulder, big baby face thing, up he comes out of the ramp, snap kicks him right there, lays him the fuck out again, double heat. But everything they did post match here undid everything for Aleister Black. If he's got a knockout kick, he don't need no crutch to hit you with, bro.
To your point that, I think what Cody has mentioned in the past, that he focus groups his promos and whatnot. So I can definitely see why that comes off phony. And
don't admit that.
My man Sergio's in the house, the fat chick thriller, the original soliloquy deliverer right here, man. Good to see you, Serge. OVW brothers are here, man.
Well, guys, that is your recap for this week's edition of AEW Dynamite from Wednesday, August 4th, 2021. Ben, final thoughts. Did you like the show?
No, I thought this show was really not up to par this week in a lot of the choices. I felt bad for the openers, kind of exposing the guys who really should be protected. I don't know. There's things I did like. I mean, I like Christian. I like Layla Hirsch, and but things like Miro going way too long with a guy that nobody knows. Dark Order making dumb little things to not save their buddy because it's wrestling phony. Those derail a show for me and a whole experience. So there are people, and it's not on those guys. I mean, they're not booking their own business. But it's the way it comes off in the small details, or the shine my shoes, fuego, like all that shit is just real bad. I'm that bitch. All those things just take me out of really experiencing and enjoying the show as a whole. I just get a lot of ew moments, and this should be fixed. But those are easy things to fix, but everyone's working their ass off. Nobody's mailing it in. I'm not saying that. It's just we're not doing business the right way. We're not building individual characters the right way. We got a guy who talks to God, but it takes him 10 minutes to beat a guy nobody knows about. That's bad booking decisions, bro. And then the Max Caster thing speaks volumes about how they'll bend the knee to a small minority instead of protecting wrestling and going, he fucking didn't do anything wrong. He killed it right there. And now he's got heat and internet buzz. What can we do to amp that up and make a baby face off of that? Nobody's asking those questions. And the guys who came over from WWE, who are legends, who said they were going to apply Rip Rogers style and help them get to that point, are now kissing the yes man, and the check clears. So keep going. Meanwhile, our business down. down integrity wise and the art of it all. So a bad taste in my mouth this week from AEW, no doubt about it, bro.
That would you come back and watch this show weekly based on watching tonight?
Well, based on tonight, no. This was an episode of AEW Dark. I think I made that pretty clear, with main event bookends. That's basically what you had here. Like, that's the quality of the show that you're watching. I mean, they didn't even really try anything too outside the box. On the I didn't really get to chime in on the caster thing yet, and I just wanted to say that, like, he does that stuff every single time he goes out. I think the only reason this got any attention is just because how recently Simone Biles was a hot button issue for everybody. He could have left that part out and said the other two things, and I don't think anybody would have said shit. But because of that, for whatever reason, they chose that. That was their, they picked their battles and they chose that battle. But he said way more offensive stuff on the actual Dynamite show, not even one of the dark shows. So, it just goes to show, like, people only selectively pay attention to these type of things. But I think I will continue to only selectively pay attention to AEW when it suits me. But hey, you never know. If you really need somebody to fill in, I think I can clear my schedule.
Yeah, man, I got to talk to them 11-11 boys. I'm not sure where we're going forward. Talk to El Sucio because he looks like he's on the comeback too. So we'll see time management wise and lineup wise. We can always shuffle the deck and shuffle up and deal here at HMG. But this is MSG's supposed last show for us here for right now until I lock him in the basement when he thinks he's going to see daylight. It's all been a whole ruse to give him hope, only to take it away once again with heels over strong. But yeah, Maddie, appreciate all the time you've given us, man. No doubt about it.
Well, guys, I'm your host in the scene where the air is clean. I'm lighting up that green. Yeah, boy, MSG. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Matthew_Shaffer. I do plan on taking a social media break for about a month, but I'm not deleting anything. So if you want to tweet me or send me a message, you certainly can, and I'll try to check it. You can also check me out on my other podcast. It's a South Park review. It's called
Suck my balls, suck my balls, my balls, suck and drink.
Suck my balls, South Park review. Check us out. We're on all podcast outlets. Subscribe on our Spreaker feed or just on Apple, Spotify, wherever you download your podcast, Google, iHeartPlay, I don't know, whatever you want to use. Maybe you got a podcatcher. Use that. If you're in India, we're pretty big in India too, apparently. I don't know why, but maybe because they're learning how to speak English from us. I don't know. But if you want to listen to our podcast, download it, subscribe, send us an email, suckmyballspod@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at suckmyballspod and on Facebook at South Park Pod. It has been my pleasure, of course, as you mentioned here, to be on the Hami Media Group platform for the last 4 years. I don't relish the opportunity to review wrestling anymore. I'm so excited to not have to review it. I'm actually really excited to watch wrestling again, just to kind of just sit back, watch it, not have to analyze it as much. I think it'll be nice, like when my friend calls me to talk about wrestling. Hey, did you see what on AEW? I'm not going to be like, yeah, well, blah, 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 blah. It'll be more, yeah, it was great. This happened. So it'll be exciting to do that. And of course, I'm excited for the next chapter, what I'm looking to do for, those who haven't followed Hami Media Group maybe as closely. Obviously, clearly we have people in the chat room who don't follow it closely, because if you have been, you would know that been mentioned 3 times now. The Friday Locker Room will not be recorded live for you anymore, so you have to pay. But for those who don't know, prior to doing all this, I played music and multitude of different bands, recorded an EP. I've got a background in theater and acting, and it's something that I'd like to get back into. And, some things had to be cut in my life so that way I could make time for that so I can pursue my interests. But this isn't permanent. I'm sure I'll be back every now and then, maybe to do a special. Someone asked if I could come back and do an all-out review. Maybe I will. That's in September. Maybe I'll, or whenever it is. I don't know. We'll see. But I appreciate everybody here. I appreciate Big Ray for giving me the opportunity. Of course, Rick Vickery letting me manage the Twitter when we started. Michael Jargo, my master control sensei. Not for him, I would probably not be in the career field I'm in now, because I asked him lots of questions while I was in school. Andrew Bello, Billy Ray Valentine, Strangler Steve King, Big Sal, Stevie Richards. When I started here, I never thought I'd get an opportunity just to converse with pro wrestlers that I saw on TV growing up as a kid. And now I get to talk to them just on a week-to-week basis. Stevie Ray, 10-time WCW Tag Team Champion, is calling me, just having conversations. So I think that should definitely be serve as a I don't know, some information. If you are interested in joining the Hami Media Group, it definitely will open doors and opportunities, and you'll get to experience things that you probably only dreamt of when you were a kid. So I think everybody, all the listeners, except for the fact the ones that are not paying, if you had paid, I'd stay longer.
Well, you know, I wanted to keep it free, man, but freedom is not free. It comes at a cost, unfortunately, even though we were promised it in some fucking document with assholes signed it and they lied to. Shocker. But yeah, man, he's at Opinion Haver. He's the vet. He's my OVW brother. He's co-host of the Impact Attack with Colin Wysong, co-host of the Next Level Review with Big Ray, and he's watching all those hours to give a great inside opinion, a trained opinion, and that's why you guys are here at HMG. Vet, any other place I can send them, buddy?
Oh, yeah. Well, this week at least I'll be on the Smack Attack to complete my clean sweep of all the shows, filling in for Mr. John Enright, who's enjoying some, rest and relaxation time. But that's cool. I think that's it. Of course, as you said, Ben, at Opinion Haver on all social medias except Facebook. And yep, Matt, appreciate everything you've done, man. And I'll see you down the road. Who knows? You know, if the only way I get to work with you is to come on suck my balls once in a while, maybe I'll try that. What do you think about that?
Hey, if you want to do a whole fucking
I know what South Park is, you know.
I'll be at prowrestlingtees.com/Ben. 20% off, I think, till tomorrow for the summer sale. Go over there, gear up, infidels, cameo.com/Ben. If you want the verbal $5 face slap, I'm cutting promos over there for people, whatever you want done. TheRealmNetwork.com. You can subscribe for free right now. Get the freedom stuff and start picking and choosing what you want to have in your RSS feed by subscribing. Hopefully Friday Locker Room will be uploaded with no issues, but we'll see about that. To be one of the first shows as it all goes down over there and we start to transition ourselves. I'm not sure what my pronoun's going to be, but we're going to work on our transition over to Realm. And
we're inclusive over at
we are, actually, to be honest with you, because some of our leftist listeners were like, Aubrey Huff, Val Venus, I can't do it. I'm like, we trying to get Gabby on to have her own show. So like, it's not some one-sided shit. We say open platform and respect all voices. That's what we're going to do. But it seems like one side wants to talk a lot of shit, but not step up to do the work to represent the true morals that they claim to. So if you guys have suggestions or show pitches, there's no better time than now. If you think it can draw, make money, and be an addition, we're easy to find at Russo Brand and Hami Media Group. Are you ready to step up and join us like Matt did and change your life forever and level up? Because there's no slackers. There ain't no half stepping around here, man. No slacking on your pimp. And we're doing it real big all the time at HMG. And we're going to miss MSG here, unlike the Fuse Infidels. This one's for you, Sil.
Ding dong. Hello?
Yalla, producer of the year.